Welcome to the Elite Podcast, episode 24. Episode 24. Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. Kobe Bryant number. Let me bring Pang in. We are live. Hope everybody's doing good. Introducing my big brother here, Pang. Looking sharp. I like the hat. How everything is, my brother? Everything good?
I almost wear Lakers hat today now. I said me I wear no Lakers hat.
Come on, man. It's all good, man. It's all love. It's all love, man. So we live. Let me go through the quick shout outs, Pan. We're gonna talk about the previous episode, and then we get right to it with Mr. Kurt Vialet,
Our principal.
Our former principal, the legend. So we definitely gonna get to him, man. It's an honor. So let's start out where we have the legends 340.com. Go to the support the garments, them nice clothing, everything. We got Sheena Fontaine with Savory Eats LLC out in Orlando. So if anytime you're in the Orlando area or outskirts of Orlando, anytime she have food sale and stuff, go to support. We also have the Good Life Apparel. Big up to the boy Nato. Good Life Apparel. We have Andrea with the Melting Pot Cooking Class, and that's an Instagram, Melting Pot Cooking Class. Also, meltingpotcookingclass.com as well, too. We have Sibon Caribbean Restaurant. Big up to our Mitra McIntosh, doing big things. Go to support her down in Frederickstead. We also have Apollo Legion. Big up to Apollo Legion. We have Linique Judge with Island Destiny 340 Serenity Braids by Nikki, and that's at Instagram, Island Destiny 340. We also have Rico Canario. He has a lot of history on VI sports. He has a very nice book that could give you some information about a lot of the historic VI athletes, boxing, baseball, basketball, football, track, etc. So you guys go to support his website, www.lulu.com/spotlight/R Canario. We also have our right way service station located in Princess next to Avis. So anytime you guys, up in that area, I always go, get some service at that gas station. We also have Paris Enterprise also in the Florida area, Orlando area to be exact. Go out and support. We also have Livewire Sports. Follow on Instagram. Livewire Sports on Instagram, also on Facebook. Livewire Sports. I messed that up, by the way. Why can't I correct it? So go to support them. They always live Tuesday at 7 p.m. Tuesday, 7 p.m. live shows. They're doing big things, so go out and support them. We have Midnight Entertainment. Big up to Frenchie, the Jacksonville area. He has one of the hottest female artists. Also, we have a new single out, Bring Out the City. New single, Bring Out the City. Go on Apple Music, iTunes. You guys go out and support. Bring Out the City. Nice song. Go out and support. Midnight Entertainment. Big up to Frenchie. Doing big things. Jacksonville, stand up. We also have Next Level Up Printing. Big up to Chico Harris. We also have OliviaDesire.com. Go check out the nice, beautiful jewelry. OliviaDesire.com. Go out and support. And then last but not least, go out and support the Elite Podcast. We got our YouTube channel at v.i.legends. Our previous episode. You could go and check out the previous episodes. Also, we are live streaming at the moment, so you guys can always go and check it out as well too. So, my brother Pan, what's good? How everything is, man? How's your week?
Man, my week it's okay. It was long. I had I won't say a tough work week, but I've been doing a lot of yard work this week, yeah. So my body is feeling it right about now. I definitely feel 42 today, my son.
I feel you, my son. I feel you, man. So we had the Michael Jordan of the VI, we call him Lavon Sarro, man. Amazing episode. I knew you'd pop in for a little bit, but it was an amazing episode, man. So talk to me about it.
So the little things that I heard was it just seems like he's like a special individual. Like like I think I heard he said he played five sports. I need to go back and watch it. Well, I will go back and watch it. I just didn't have no time this weekend to watch it. But he
Yeah.
said he played five sports, right? It take a lot to play five sports, and I don't know if he played them all at the same time in the same year, all at different parts of his life, but still, five sports is a lot. Um, it seems like he's still doing his thing on the island, still, teaching, um, you know, uh, based on his experience, and that's the best way to teach, just based off of your experience. That's the best type of teachers, from the experienced people from the VI. That's the best type of teachers for our kids these days. But it was good listening to our talk, and because I just step in to just really hear, and I ain't had no questions, I ain't had no, but it was definitely an interesting story.
Yeah, it was, man. It was an interesting story. And like you said, man, experience is the best teacher, man. And he has a lot of experience, so the youth is in his hands, man. His players and everybody he's working with, they're in his hands. They're in good hands. He's
Right,
doing a lot of sacrifices, and he's doing a lot of things for the youth. So, big up to him, as well as Lynn. She does a lot for the youths too, and Richie as well. All of them went through that college, and trying to achieve their dreams, etc. So, we had conversations with them when they was on the show, and just the way how they talk and they speak, you could tell they
right,
they, they was built and they was meant to be leaders at the new school.
right.
So big ups to them. Big ups to everybody. Good afternoon to everybody. Everybody saying what's up, fellas. Good afternoon. So good afternoon to everybody that's tuning in.
Good
You know,
afternoon.
good afternoon. Good afternoon. Much love to everybody who tuning in. So Pang. Kobe Bryant number. Rest in peace to Kobe, the GOAT. Episode 24. We got our former principal, current senator. We got Kurt Vialet. So I'm gonna talk first, and then I'm gonna let you talk, and then you could introduce Vialet, because you big brother. So I'm gonna go
Yeah.
first. So um when I first come into complex, I give him some headaches. I got in a lot of trouble. So I spent a lot of time in his office. No lie, but as I get to know him, he's a great individual, man. He's a great person. He played a part in my journey to who I am today and stuff like that. Helping me out, getting me on the right path and stuff like that. As I got old and I became an adult, I realized how much work and stress and issues he had to deal with the school and so many of the students and stuff like that. So I just couldn't imagine that. Pang, as we young youths and stuff like that, we don't think like that. We just in the moment and stuff like that. So, looking back, I'd always be like, man, I should have done this better, I should have done that better, etc. But I really appreciate him as a person. I appreciate him as a friend. That's somebody I could always call, I could text. If I have an idea, I could run it by him. I ask him what you think. Anytime I'm home for the Christmas, if I see him, we'll talk. We reminisce a little bit, and we just talk and stuff like that. He always tell me he proud of me and everything. So I appreciate everything he have done for me, and not just for me, but everybody else, on the island and stuff like that. So it's just gonna be an honor just to learn about him, as a person, So I just can't wait.
Well, I gonna start off with Ville. Well, I gonna say this. I went to four schools in my whole time at St. Croix. Grove School, Arta, Central, then Complex. Out of those four schools, there's only two principals that really played a role in help developing the type of person I am, and that's Ville and Mr. Ville from Complex, and Mr. Christian from Grove School. And that's because they don't take the time out to know their students. Like all the students, not just the ones that are doing good, not just the bright ones, and things of that nature. Vele to show up for every sport in school, like
That's
every
true.
game, he'd be there. Like even if he got to spend 20 minutes at a baseball game, but then he know basketball playing, he gonna go and spend 20 minutes there. If he know if they got volleyball game playing, he someplace else, he gonna go and spend 20 minutes. That's a principle that matters. You know what I'm saying? And he
That's
know
true.
that the student matters. And um he you could tell he was playing a role in every kid at Complex Life. Every kid. He just knew everybody. And he made it his duty to know everybody. And That's the type of people we need in our life, man. As kids, like
That's
he
true.
he's our Joe Clark. Like
Yeah,
absolutely, he's our Joe Clark. You know what I'm saying? How Joe
that's
Clark. The
pop.
only thing was missing was he bat
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
because he had to
That's
deal.
true.
He had to deal with everything. He had to deal with the honor students, and then he had to deal with the people them that just in school for all the wrong reasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And he had to deal with a lot of different personalities as kids. And honestly, just from outside looking in, it just seemed like he was well scripted for every bit of it. You know what I'm saying? Um,
yes,
I don't follow him much now as a senator, so everything that he talk about for senator being a senator is something I gonna learn new for today. But this one is long overdue because I know you've been trying to get Vialet from time we start.
yeah,
I think I could be wrong, but I think and I know everybody has been mentioning his name from the time we start. I could say that much.
yeah.
But
True. That's true.
so looking
Well
forward
said.
to.
Well said, Pang. Well, I just sorry to interrupt, but well said, man. Perfectly said. You the
I
best
just
intro. You knock it on the park. Best intro so far. You knock it out. Perfect.
I just looking
Perfect.
forward to it, man. And this is gonna be the first time I talk to him in a long time, so I'm definitely looking forward for this one.
So do
Oh,
you
without further ado, what everybody is tuning in for, I had a little ups there. Tegan, the music introduced them. Here's Vialet.
Looking forward to it, man. And this is gonna be the first time I talk to him in a long time.
Turn down your phone, man.
Tegan, turn on your phone.
Are you mute? You there mute?
Yeah, I muted him. I had to mute him because
Oh.
he messing up your professionalism.
My bad, my bad, my bad.
No man, I love.
So you want to give he a chance to talk or just we bring he on?
Yeah. Go ahead, Tegan. Do we were just talking
No,
about
no, I
VLA.
mean, Pang was perfect. Pang, awesome. I echo everything you say. I was watching in my car running, so that's why the volume was high. But anything I got to about Vialet, man, look, more than a principal, more than a senator, a disciplinarian, an honest man, a man with love. Bring it on, man. Pang, do your thing. It was perfect. It was really good.
Well, what the moment everybody has been waiting for, Kirk Vialet, Senator Kirk Vialet.
Welcome, VLA. Welcome.
The champ
What's
is
good,
here.
Vialet?
He might be on mute.
Yeah,
Vialet.
your mic on mute. There's a little mic on the bottom of your screen. Press that. I hear
Okay, I got
Press it again. Yeah, there you go.
yeah. Now you can hear me.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Good to go.
I just
Good.
want to finish the show right now and just tape you guys' comments and just leave that as it is. And just enjoy the comments. I am so honored because I am really here with three of complex legends when it comes to basketball. Three of complex legends. I heard you say that the show named Legends. That was saying they need to be named complex legends with the hosts that we have before us. You guys, I'm saying everything is not diversified with the three of you. We have Pang. I got Pang from Central High School. Mumba came directly there to us. He had a strong mom that never played. And we have Tegan, who was a part of the honors program and was supposed to be a soccer player, but gravitated basketball. I think his dad was always upset that he didn't go towards soccer, but the three of you guys were some of the best players that ever came through the school. And you don't know how much time I call your name, and I call your name to the younger students. And I speak to them about the heart, and the work ethic that the three of you had in terms of carrying complex to a level that was unheard of. And I say all the time now that, and I tell Mac on a regular basis that, we could teach students everything, but one thing we can't teach is heart. And the three of you guys had a heart, and you had a willingness that you want to win, and you would just put the team on your back and carry complex into the winning circle. And there's nothing I like more than winning. So you guys were a part of the glory days, and the establishment of complex as a whole. You know, when we opened that school, we started off as the largest school in St. Croix, and we had some 1,600 students at the St. Croix Educational Complex. And because we had so many students, we had to run multiple lunch periods. We had 3 lunch periods when you guys were there, just to try to accommodate all the students and to accommodate all the classes. And when we originally opened, my pledge was that I wanted to create a school that would be competitive in every area. So I designed a math science magnet program from scratch without the input of the Department of Education, but the input of the other professionals that were working with me. And we said that we wanted to move academics to a different level, and we wanted to be one of the best competitive athletic program in the Virgin Islands. The athletic came first. We were able to move so quickly into becoming an athletic powerhouse. And you guys remember both our male and female basketball team. They used to call us off when we played in the private school because we used to be beating them 100 or something to 20 something to something. And we took part in every single tournament. Our girls, Timur and Matt and Lisa and Nell and all of those back then was, I mean, nobody could have touched the teams that we had put together. And quickly to move to a different level when it came to athletic. And thank God for you guys. Mumba was a good student, but he had a little tendency sometimes to hang with the wrong crowd. And I always used to try to put, hey, Mumba, you can't hang with that man, you can't hang. Thank God for his but I wasn't at my side. You know what? It was always don't hang with that crowd. Hang into class. He didn't want to go to a class. He literally had to walk on to class and keep everything so you can have a team. Defense was the most tenacious defense. His hands were so fast, left and right. He could rip a ball from anybody and he going down the court before you even know what's happening to you. You know, so it was important because from the beginning I told Hayward that I never wanted to have an athletic program and have students that are not going to graduate from school. Because winning is one thing, but if you win and you can't get the students to graduate, then to me you're being selfish in trying to establish a winning program and not looking out for the best interest of the students that were going to the school. And if you look at our basketball and all the programs that we have had at the St. Croix Educational Complex for so many years, 95% or more of those students have graduated from high school. And that was all that I wanted. I wanted for students to graduate and have an opportunity to be able to do well out there in the world. And I remember Mumba leaving, he left the same time with Cuthbert. And you guys going.
Mumba is me or he gone?
I think he hold up.
Yeah, back on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who you got, Via? That's Via?
I need to go and play mode.
Oh, he getting cars, man. That's what happened.
Oh, okay. Can we about to go after Via? No, Via playing around.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Vialet. You good.
Mumba graduated from school and then going to college and being redshirt his first year. That's correct, Mumba?
That's correct. Yeah, you're right.
I was just livid that he was redshirt. But I mean, we were learning at that point with the whole system and what all you need to do to get things done. And I remember hearing that he wasn't going to go to Murray the next year, and there was some issues, and he was going into baseball. And I was like, oh my God, how the hell is this happening? Mumba is my big player. I know Mumba is going to make it. You know, Tegan is doing well. Cuthbert doing what is going on? And he went on to baseball. And I remember getting your baseball card. I have it here on my desk. I still have it up to now.
That's
when
crazy.
you were playing baseball, and I was, look at the talent of this young man. He was so good in basketball, but yet so good in baseball. And
Senator, your voice is really bad.
do you guys hear me good, or I'm a bit muffled?
Yeah,
It coming in.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Tegan.
Yeah, your voice is coming in very scratchy. You want to go out and come back in?
What do I need to do to get it?
If you could come back out and come out and come back in and see if that work.
Okay, let me do that.
Yeah. Man, Tiga, this man got good memory, brother.
He even got your baseball card. That's crazy.
Yeah, he
I
got
got your
yeah,
baseball card too, but I can't find it.
man. Ain't good. I ain't like to hear that in the Tiga. My
I
baseball
gotta look
card.
for it.
Listen, my baseball card should be hanging up somewhere in your house.
I know. I don't know it is. I gotta go look for it, and it was well signed. Everything. I got a big picture with you signing. What the hell that card is, son? I gotta go look for
You
that
playing
thing.
games. You playing games, man. That car worth a lot of money, you know.
I know that. I know that. I gotta find it. It ain't the house. It ain't the house.
Yeah, man. My card gone, man. Somebody steal my card, brother.
Yeah,
That's like a
and then
Michael Jordan card, you know.
it is. It is. I think we still got a picture with you in Haywood office. You signed that one for Haywood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, however, and you sound a little hoarse, man. You been screaming too much.
Man,
These kids ain't listening.
Last night we had a little social distancing party, so to speak, and I be screaming on the mic. So my voice, you know me when I start screaming, right? My voice will be going. So I gonna fight you today. I fighting you.
Okay,
That's
you
good.
guys can hear me better?
Yes, sir. Perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
Damn, I said so much before. I wanted that to be on the record. I hope you guys were able to understand what I was saying
Yeah.
before. Okay.
You were good.
Yeah.
You were just breaking in and out, but now you perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
Good.
perfect.
Good. But I remember I was saying when Mumba went to play baseball, and I kept on checking on him, and I used to follow Tegan in college, and then he went on to do his masters, and I would ask about Pang on a regular basis, you know. And I think I was so happy that the three individuals, along with a lot of other students from Complex, went on to do really well, you know. And when I hear where you guys are now and what you're doing with your life and what you're doing to continue to try to engage the community and continue to be role models to the community. You know, all I can really do is just be so proud of each and every one of your accomplishments. I mean, Tegan is doing big things here, and St. Croix, he is so engaged. He runs a basketball camp every summer. I think it's the first summer, perhaps in what, 5, 6, 7 years that he didn't have an
And since
opportunity
2005, we ain't had a camp.
to run a camp. He has actually trained the students to compete against him when he was coach.
Yeah.
He was training, you know, those students
And they come back and beat us.
and also from Free Will Baptist that were coming back and being very competitive, and he had no issues whatsoever with that. So, you know, you got to really applaud him. I'm trying to put in a headphone here.
Oh, you good, man? You
and see if
good?
this
No, you
works a
sound
bit
perfect.
better.
Yeah, you sound perfect.
You
Yeah,
sound perfect. Yeah.
I was just let me put in headphone from long, you know. But
I take the blame on that. I take the blame.
Tegan
Sir-
is here, and he's so involved. You know, he's working at Park and Recreation, and I thank God for that on a regular basis, because he's the type of individuals that we need to have in these departments, especially when it comes to Park and Recreation, to be able to mentor our students, you know. And I look at the students on a regular basis, and they look up to Tegan, and they think that Tegan, they say, the man got a degree, you know, that man played college. He got his basketball career literally paid for, you know, and you guys got to want to aspire to do the same thing. You know, but I had the opportunity to open St. Croix Educational Complex in 1995, and I stayed there until 2011, when I was moved to Arthur Richard School, to turn around Arthur Richard School, which then at the point was just having fight after fight, and the retention rate was extremely high, and they sent me down there. It was a controversial time in the history of education at St. Croix. The students walked out. There was a big protest. The students were really upset that I was being moved from the school. But I went down there, and I said, let me give him my all. And, you know, within 2 months, I had Arthur Richards fine, because it was so easy, 300-400 students after dealing with with 1400. I was able to turn Arthur Richards around in a very, very, very brief period of time. I went back with the sporting program, and when I was there, we didn't lose one basketball game. We won every game in basketball, every game in
Wow.
volleyball, boys and girls. I was the biggest cheerleader. I believe that principals have a responsibility to make sure that they're the students' biggest cheerleader. And when you're your student's biggest cheerleader, it's so much easier for you to deal with the student during class time and during regular school hours, because when they see you there on the sideline cheering them on, it's easy to talk to them the next day and say, go to class, hey, go to game, you did this, you did that. So I must say that I do miss education, but I have transitioned on to the field of politics. This is my third term that I'm presently serving. I ran back in 2014 and I was very successful. I was the top vote getter that year in the primary and the general election. And I ran for re-election in 2016 and I was the top vote getter again. And then I ran in 2018 and I ran third in the primary and third in the general election. And I just ran for re-election again. And again, I was the top vote getter. So I think the people of St. Croix have put a lot of faith into me. I think that I am able to connect easily with individuals because I come from humble beginnings and I don't in any way try to act like I am better or bigger than anybody else. I know from where I came from. My mom was a secretary, my father was a correctional officer. I went to Juanita, Paul B, Alfredo, Elena, and then Central High School. So I've been all over the place. I worked at McDonald's my entire high school career for 4 years. I worked at Kentucky 1 year when I was in 8th grade. I used to sell newspaper on the street. I always been hustling from small to make $1. I always believe in trying to sustain yourself. And then when I hit 12th grade, I graduated in 1982 from a large class, and the class had almost 500 students. And at that point, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. But I had applied to Florida A&M and Florida State and was accepted to both. But my mom or dad didn't attend college. I was going to be the first in the house to attend college. And finances was an issue. And I didn't know how my mom or dad was going to actually pay or be able to afford for me to go to college. So I accepted the invitation to go to the University of the Virgin Islands. And I went over there and I was supposed to be a chemistry major because I wanted to be a pediatrician. So my role was I want to be this doctor. And I went to UVI and began to take some math classes and then said, wow, I really like math. Let me switch my major and major in math. And during UVI, my second year, I met my then girlfriend who became my girlfriend, Wanda, who's now my wife. And she was an elementary education major. So we were together the remaining years of college. And males they mess up a little bit. So I took an extra year because I had too much of a good time 1 year. So I took an extra year. And as usual, female, she had graduated to me in 82. She graduated on time in 86. So I had 1 more year to finish until 87. And she was an elementary education major, and she went and she started to teach. So I completed the math degree in 87. And in all honesty, I didn't even know what I was going to do with the degree. I was like, okay, I have a math degree. What am I going to do with this degree? So I said, I want to become a flight controller. And then I was, I don't know about that. So at that time we were together, and she said, well, you don't try your hand at teaching. There's a need for math teachers. There are not enough math teachers on the island. Try your hand at teaching. So I said, you know what? I'm going to try 1 year. I'm going to give it a year and see whether or not I like teaching. And I was hired at Elena Christian Junior High School, and I went into work 1 year. And I just fell in love with education. So from there, the principal at that point was a guy named Mr. Herbert Bradhurst. And he said, listen, you have a lot of potential. You need to go and do your master's degree. And I said, do my master's? Why do you want me to do my master's? And he said, well, I think you got potential. I think you could be an administrator. Go and do your master's degree. Unfortunately, the same year that he encouraged me to start my master's, Hurricane Hugo hit. The island was devastated. And during the devastation, our good principal, Mr. Bradhurst, died. He died when shortly after the hurricane. And I had a assistant principal by the name of Ilma Christian. And she came to me and she said, listen, I have a couple more years to work. You need to finish your master's degree. When you finish your master's degree, I'm going to make sure that you become the assistant principal. And I said, really? And she said, really, finish your degree. And by God, when I finished that degree, she retired from being principal and they moved the assistant principal to principal. And she made sure that I got that assistant principal position. So I started working at Elena as assistant principal in 92. And then 95, 3 years later, this big monster of a school was being built at Castleburg. It was completed like 94 in December. They were looking for a principal to run the school. And I was then 29 years old. I'd become an assistant principal at 27. And I told my wife at that point, who I'm married, I said, hey, I think I could run the school. And what do you think? And she said, go for it. You need to submit an application. And I said, hey, but I'm going to be going up against all of these older guys. I don't know if I'm going to get it. And she said, go for it. And I filled out an application. We had to do a proposal as to how you're going to run the school. And, I was selected back in April of that year. I was 29 years old to open what was then called the new school. And we had 4 or 5 months to plan everything to get the school open, and I was able to assemble an excellent staff. Those guys are still my friends, me and Haywood and all of those guys at Miller and a bunch of the original staff. We are still very, very good friends. And I was able to open a school in 95, and the first year or two were our roughest years. It was a lot of students, and we had a lot of good students, but we had a lot of students who didn't want to do what they're supposed to do and wanted to kick up and do all type of stuff. So, I literally told the managers, this is war. We are going to wage war to control our school. We can't allow a few to destroy opportunities for the masses. So we wage war, and it was a fight, literally to get it under control. I started out the school year wearing slacks and long sleeve shirt, and I ended up wearing jeans afterward, and sometimes a polo, because it was just to get control. But I think quickly the students began to buy in to the school, and the class of 98 was a phenomenal group of students, one of the most inspiring group of students that I've ever met in all my years in education, because with all the issues we had, they just wanted to shape the academic program. And, they did so much in terms of, Vela, we need this, Vela, we need that, you need to do this, you need to do that. And a lot of the programs that we have were shaped by their wants, and to a certain degree, I was spoiled after 98, because I thought that, well, our students are so motivated, and as the year went down, and they was like, oh my God, I just had a special group then. I got to fight harder for this particular set of students to get them motivated. But I think from there, after we were able to get discipline under control, get our our athletic program going, get pride in the school, then we started building and being an academic powerhouse and being able to compete. When I left Complex, our math science quiz bowl team were beating Antilles, Country Day, Good Hope, all of them on a regular basis. They couldn't compete with us. We were running rings around all of the top private schools in our academic program. We started a marching band program with 2 former students, Kevry Hendricks, Skylar Anderson. I don't know if you guys remember them. And we had a marching band program that just went off the chain. The only school that had a 12 band. So we had a lot of firsts. And I gotta say that the school pride, man, when we got into the 2000, I mean, it was just tremendous, the school pride. Everybody wanted to be a Barra. Our waiting list for students coming in were long from private schools. Everybody wanted to hit 9th grade. Everybody wanted to be a Barracuda. We literally filled every single seat in the school when I was principal. Year after year, every class was maxed out, because everybody wanted to be a Barra, and then we developed a football program. So when I look back, I am so proud of the work, and I'm so proud of the students that went to the Synchro Educational Complex. I'm proud of what they have achieved on a national level, and I'm proud of what they have achieved on a local level, because every way that I turn, there's a complex student, and there's a complex student that doing well, and I'm on Facebook, a lot of my friends, and everywhere I turn, it's just accomplishment after accomplishment after accomplishment. So I just want to say, hey, I am proud of the three of you guys. I think that when we get rid of this coronavirus, and we're going to need for you guys to collectively come down to the Virgin Islands and to be able to speak in the high school and speak in the junior high schools. I have a speaking part of my campaign where I go back to the junior high school and I carry individuals who I think are role models to speak to the students. But I think the three of you would be perfect if you tell the story from the very beginning to be able to motivate these students to do better. But I think I've talked a lot, and I don't want to continue going. I'm talking about complex, or those I can continue to talk for a long period of time.
Well, that was actually good. Like I think if we there's anything that we didn't know about you, we learned it today. Especially if your past. Before I started getting all these technical difficulties, for some reason I couldn't hear you. I wanted to make sure to tell you, if you haven't watched it, don't watch my episode.
I will. What did you do, Pat? What did you do with that?
Episode 1.
what you said about Pang about walking to class? That's what he was talking. That's what his episode is about.
You are
Listen, but Pang was so famous. So you could have walked him to class, and if you don't watch him sit down, when you turn your back, he's gone. He's literally, and I used to be like, what the hell is this boy problem? Why won't he stay in class? So you would have to walk him to class, and you'd have to stay by the door for like 5 minutes to get him to settle down in the class.
He was a very good student. He just didn't like class.
Yeah.
I have a great question to start off. My voice is a little down, I've been screaming last night, so give me a break. But you went to Arthur Richards, and we've been talking about Arthur on the show a long time. They had a lunch league. That's my number one question. You had a lunch league at Arthur, and then people go to class.
I had a lunch league. That's one of the first things I made sure I had when I went to Arthur. Lunch leagues are so important, and I think I met with the principal now. That's the principal now at the Synchro Educational Complex, and I spoke to him about that. I said, listen, you gotta go a lunch league. A lunch league is going to keep so many individuals from the hallway, going to keep them from getting into a fight they want to play. You got to have a lunch league. That is where you get control of your school. And I had Canes on there. You guys know him as Crackers, and Crackers ran my lunch league for me. And it helped tremendously because the lunch league is the neighborhoods coming together. They're going to put a team together. They know that if they mess up, they can't play in the lunch league, so they behave themselves.
So Tegan, that would be the difference of when me and Moma played in lunch league in Arta versus when Vialet was running the school, because as you hear him, he was hands-on in getting kids to go to class, whereas there's a lot of principals, they're not like that. You know what I mean?
Obviously, you got man walking for Safari Rally coming to play lunch lead and going back home.
That could not work. The key is, you have to meet students with what they like, and you got to use what they like to make them a better student academically. Because I find that, most students have the potential. It's just to get a discipline for them to go to class and do what they got to do. Most students have that potential, but it is how are you going to be able to allow them to meet their potential. And if you just want to win and you let them come in from Safari, play ball and then leave, then you're worse off than they are. Nobody should ever, because students are going to try to do as much as possible to not do what they're supposed to do. My biggest thing in the Richards at like 1:30, 2 o'clock, I have to make sure I man the gate because everybody wants to run over for school to jump off Big Duck. And it
So
was
like that's so like pan.
that's
all
all
like-
that's all like bang.
Pan
Just
said the
make
same
sure,
thing in his episode.
just make sure you don't watch my episode.
Really,
what
that's
I-
the same thing Pan said.
Listen, when I reach,
Oh,
I hear in the
my
mumbling, I walk in when they come
God.
past and they know I listen. I hear them saying, "Hey, Big Doc 130, meet me by the back gate." So I was like, "What?" Man, I locked down that place 130 when they run away from class. I by the gate and I
Son.
saying, "Get a little behind back to class." And
Oh,
you know, within a week, it took care of that because it's a different, it's a different. I can't even say culture. It's a different experience. You know, the students at Frederick said have a dock right there that they could walk down and jump off. They have within a mile, they could go down into the beach. Some of the most beautiful beach on the island.
right.
So and then the afternoon hot. You know, so you had to devise programs in which you were able to clamp down on them. Pang, I should have been there your days, man.
Pang left his
Man.
mark, brother. Pang left his mark. Pang, you a legend, brother.
But you know,
you're
watch.
a legend.
You know something? I never used to get in trouble. Like that's why
No,
people
you
would
didn't.
never know the stuff that I used to go through in school because I never fight. I never did melee and stuff like that. You know, like people don't believe the stuff that I did. My brother, them, my friends, well, some of them because they was with me, but they don't. A lot of people don't believe the stuff that I did when I did in school, when I was in school, because I just don't get in trouble. I never like the spotlight and things like that. And, you know, I just stay behind the scenes and, like he said, when you hear the rumbles,
Mhm.
I want to be a part of that. From first period, we talking about going Big Doc at lunchtime. I want to be a part of that. You know, so but it was like really, where did that come from for you? Like, was that taught by your parents? Did some teacher coming up had that type of effect on you? Like, where did that come from? Like the care for the students.
My motto when I started teaching was that I am going to treat children or students the same way I want everybody to treat my children. And I just said, hey, I can't want a teacher or a program to give 100% to my children, and I'm not giving 100% to everybody else. And I was very conscious from a young age. I used to be with certain crowd. I was always into horse race and so forth. And when I was in Central High School, and I would be with all of the guys that love horse race, love car race, etc. But when the bell ring, I go into class. And while the bell ring, they gonna stay hanging in the alley. But I go into class, I get in all A and B. But I hang in with the horsemen then. But I'm making sure I go to class because it's a funny story. When I was young, about first or second grade, my mom told me, if you ever, we used to call it stop back. It wasn't repeat. We used to call it stop back. And that was to stay in a grade. She said, if you ever repeat a grade, don't come home. I am going to put you out of the house. This is a woman that loved me to death. But I was like, I was 7 years old. So I believed that. I literally believed that if I didn't do well, that I was going to have these severe repercussions. So I did what all I had to do. And then by the time I reached fifth, sixth grade and I realized that she had fooled me, it was already instilled in me to do what I'm supposed to do on a regular basis. You know, and I believe that education is a savior for everybody, no matter what type of household you come from, no matter how bad the environment is. If you could only focus on becoming educated, a number of pathways open up. And there's a number of opportunities. And I found a lot of time we have students who don't understand how smart they are because nobody have ever given them a chance or nobody have really given them a positive reinforcement. You know, a lot of students don't have the reinforcement at home that they're supposed to have. So I wanted to be that reinforcement absent whatever is going on. And I remember telling students, you know, I don't really care who don't believe in you. I'm to the point where I've told students, I don't care if your mother or father don't believe in you. You're going to believe in yourself. Because once you believe in yourself, you're going to be able to move to that next level. You know, and I've seen, I mean, we got doctors out at Kennedy. We got doctors out in the project that are doing well. We have engineers. We have so many students that have done extremely well. But it ain't every single student that have a strong parent. A lot of students don't come from that strong structure. And the school, there's something named loci parentis, which the school is supposed to become the parent. So I always believe when you come in the gate, you is my child. So I'm going to deal with you the same way I deal with my children. Some of the stuff I might do, you're going to like. There's some that you ain't going to like, but when you get older, you're going to appreciate what I did.
Definitely. I agree.
Let me add, one of the things that I think that you are able to connect with the next generation. How did you get that? Because a lot of people who care about us, but they can't connect. And you was always able to connect with anybody in terms of basketball, band. You know all the students. You were just able to connect with people. Like, how did you get that connection? And what do you think a lot of people who are in the older generation can't connect with this generation now?
I quickly realized that in order to run an effective program, you got to connect. If you have somebody in the hallway and you're saying, hey, you, go to class, it's not as effective as saying, Mumba, go to class. Mumba, don't let me call your mother. Tegan, get you behind the class. Bang! It's way more effective when I call your name. It's way more effective when I say, hey, Pang, you had a good game yesterday, but get to class now. Because you're acknowledging, one, that I was there. You're acknowledging that I'm complimenting you. So it's easier for me to tell you to do something and you're going to listen. If you connect with the students, even your job, you connect with your employees and everybody else, it's easier for you to get them to do something if you connect. If you're going to act like I'm the principal and they're the student and they must, no, it doesn't work. I never once, being a principal, ever issue those words, I am the principal. Everybody knows you're the principal. I want to connect to get you to do what you're supposed to do. And I have a passion for St. Croix. I love my island. I want the Virgin Islands to do good. And for the Virgin Islands to do good, young people got to do good. So I was always into that. I'm competitive. And I always want to win. I always want to win. And to win, I got to make sure that I have a good program and I have buy-in. I truly enjoy sports, especially when I'm winning. So going to a game was, I mean, you guys know I was the loudest cheerleader. I running up and down the side. It was always a joy. I mean, I remember we played a game in Eudora, Ken, and in the finals, and Mumba was there. And, man, we needed one shot, and we literally put every player on his back and say, you got to score. You got to score. And I remember him going coast to coast and going through that zone. And we were up by 1. And I was like, that's hard. And anybody that showed that type of heart, I got to be behind you.
Right.
So, I mean, it's different now because what I saw, and me and Mac have discussed it, and Peters, I used to run the track program. We had a lot of good track athletes. We won a lot of stuff in the poly relays and the relays and Penn on the mainland. We had like 2 wheels in which our students did well. We had Allison and all of those that went to a different level. Lavon, that became an Olympic runner, Lavon Brown. But children, for whatever reason back then, wanted to practice. Understood the importance of working hard. You ain't had to beg them to come to practice. I lived to see where you literally begging students to come to basketball practice. Students used to want to leave class early to go to practice. And I wondered where and why have they lost that passion to play. I remember Tegan was coaching a game, I think 3 years ago or 4 years ago. I wasn't at Complex. I was in the Senate. And I was at the game, and Tegan subbed his best player in the 4th quarter. He took him out. So I watching the game, and I was like, I said, Tegan, what are you doing? What you subbing? What did you sub him out? You got a chance to win this game. And Tegan turned to me and he said, he's not listening. I told him not to do this. I told him don't get into anything with the referee, and he went in and he disobeyed me. And he has to learn. I'm teaching him a lesson.
That's it. Kadim.
He got to say it. Yes, I don't want to call him. You can call it. Okay. And guess what? I had him at the Arthritis Fly with me when I was down there. And guess what? Complex lost the game. And I remember putting up a post, and the post said, I applaud Mac and Tegan for being willing to take a loss to show our students the importance of complying and listening. And there were some feedback. Some individuals from Central High felt that I was saying that Complex should have win, and they put up some, Vialet, I was and I was like, no, you guys are missing the point. It wasn't that I was always with Complex, but I applaud them because they're not playing students who are undisciplined or students who are skipping. That same year, Tegan did not allow some of his better players to even make the team because they won't come to practice. Right, Tegan?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. And you didn't need to defend yourself because we did win the championship in the end. So
Yes.
we could have won.
And I remember, that same tournament was a Central Light tournament, and I sponsored the trophies. So I was like, it's a Central. I'm sponsoring the trophy. I just like basketball, but I like when you teach children appropriate behavior. You can't get your star player playing and he cussing you when you're taking him out, and because you want to win, you're leaving him in the game. Then as adults, we're irresponsible.
Right. We failing them.
And yes.
The one.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you ain't finished. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, I'm sorry that Tegan and Mac left the high school program. It hurt my heart tremendously that they left the high school program, and then Naibo left the JV program. I mean, so I'm kind of sorry for that, but they have a different mission in which, according to them, in which they want to work with the younger children. But Tegan, when I see Tegan coaching, I just feel good because I'm like, everything that I wanted, he doing. So I gotta feel good.
That's true.
And that's what Tegan trying to do for the current students, because teaching them that discipline, once they come to America, they can't come up here with that behavior.
Exactly.
Or they will not play. They will not play. So you gotta teach them. You gotta teach them when they're on this level, so that when they get to college or wherever, they're already in tune. They already know what's going on. Like practice was fun. Like practice was fun for me. Like some of our practices used to be better than most of our games because we competed in practice. I wanted to be nobody could lay up better than me in the layup lane. I wanted to be the first one in suicide. I want to block every shot that come my way. I want to steal every ball that come close to my face. And that's in practice. So when the game come, that became like my norm. Like it was just so easy in the game because Tegan better than any guard that I could play on the other team. If I could lock Tegan down, who I can't lock down when I
could lock down anybody.
Huh?
I said you could lock Tegan down, then you could lock anybody.
Right. So that's how you got to look at it. But like you said, you asked a question like what changed? Electronics, man. Like,
but how do we bring it back? How do we got to bring it back? The level when you go to a volleyball game now, and you go to a basketball game, the change is so evident. I'm like, what is going on? In terms of the where the students are, it's sad, and I hear some saying, "Hey, I'm the baddest singer," and I'm like, no. You guys, you have a long way to go. I have seen so much better. You have to have the heart. So I think maybe that's a plus side with Tegan going to teach the younger ones.
Yes,
that they're going to learn that discipline, and by the time they come to high school, it would be a totally different game.
Because I see people being taught right. It's really bad at the lowest level.
Go ahead.
Where the electronics comes in is they get to see what they could see on TV and how they're doing it, but not really seeing how these players get to how where they are today. And a lot of sports is so watered down right now. It's just like ridiculous to watch on the professional level. And these kids are just wake up and want to be professional. That's it. They don't want to put in the work for it. They don't see the behind the scenes stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it just hard. They could just sit on YouTube and look. Man, I could do what he doing, but won't go and practice. to get to do what he's doing. They just want to come to the game or come to practice and just start doing it, and then no structure, and then you ain't got the right coach to tell them, hey, it's not done this way. You know what I'm saying? Let we start from the basics and let we go from here. That's not happening.
Well said.
That's
I
true.
mean, I saw seniors shooting a 3-pointer, flat foot. It's not even a jump shot, just flat. They get a ball and they shooting a 3-pointer from the chest. And
That's
I'm like,
great.
suppose somebody
Sad.
really had good defense. I mean, they lick the ball back in their face.
Right.
How we get to that point that they don't even understand what's a jump shot, that they have all of these unorthodox methods. We got to do a better job because sports do a lot for students, and that is one of the biggest drawback in this pandemic. How are children going to play sports? How are they going to be part of music programs? How are they going to be children? How are they going to be students? You literally on lockdown with everything. What is going to be the overall impact a year from now, because they're getting more attached to the electronic device. So what's going to happen?
Yeah.
It,
Go ahead.
No,
Go
I was
ahead,
gonna it sounded like you were gonna say ask Balrika Miss Bryson question.
You got it. You could go ahead and do
Okay.
it. Yeah.
So Miss Bryson asks how do you feel about the education system today and what can be done to make it better or stronger?
That sounds like a question Miss Bryson would ask.
Hey, math counts teacher. Whoop.
Yeah,
Big up, Miss
she was.
Bryson. Big up.
Miss Bryson did a lot of work at the educational complex. She was one of the core teachers that I carried with me when I was transferred from Elena Christian. Matter of fact, she was working with me at Elena Christian. And I moved her there with me, and I made her the chair of the fine arts program. But in terms of education, I'm very disappointed in the direction that we're moving. I am not seeing the passion that I would like to see in terms of investing in our students academically and athletically. Our population at St. Croix have fallen off. Do you know that Complex only have 900 students and Central I have 800 and something students? When we used to have 1,000 something. Easily, the lowest we had was like 1,300. I think that a lot of individuals lack the connection, and they're planning programs on paper, but they're not as in tune with what actually goes on with these students' lives on a regular basis. And anything looks good on paper, but it's the actual implementation. So a lot of time I think that they're missing exactly what is the purpose of schools. I mean, I walk in some schools and I see some students and I'm like, I know that I would have been able to turn around these students. I went to elementary school in St. John, and I saw 4 students in the main office. And I asked them, what are you guys doing here? And the one was, my teacher said I hit he. The next one said, the teacher told me not to talk, and I talked too loud. The next one said, I don't have a pencil. And they've been in the office for over an hour. So I know I'd have been like, I'd have give the one a pencil. The one that talking the much that tell you, listen, you need to be quiet when you go to class. I'd have walk, he probably a little clap on his shoulder. And the next one I'd have make sure they go to class. But instead, they stay there, the entire period. And sometimes you need to connect with your students. And I always tell a story as to when I was at Arthur Richards, there was a young man that was very a disgusting student, but he wasn't rude or disrespectful or anything. But I always play around. And one day, he literally, cursed the teacher, F this, F that, F that. And when he came to the office, I was like, something wrong. This guy don't get into those type of issues. And I brought him in my main office and I said, hey, what's up? What's up with you? Why did you curse the teacher this morning? His mom was arrested 5 o'clock in the morning. His mom was arrested. They went in her house and arrested the mom.
It's crazy.
So my thing was, I can't suspend this child. This child is acting out because he had a traumatic experience this morning. So I went to the teacher and I said, hey, he's going to come and apologize to you. I'm going to keep him in my office for the day. But he'll be back tomorrow because, and I explained, he had a traumatic experience. There's no way I'm going to call for parental conflict. His parent was arrested. And there's no way I'm going to cause further trauma to the student. So I just get his work and let him cool out in my office. And in 2-3 hours, he was cool. You know, and you have to get into a student's psyche. You gotta know. You can imagine Tegan cussing a teacher.
No.
I'm telling you, what happened?
So if Tegan cussing a teacher, right? Something wrong. Something wrong. So I got to check, like, Tegan, what's up? What did you do? And I think when you know children, you're able to predict their behavior. And I think a lot of the schools are being run absent connections. You know, I still go to games and I look for administrators and they're not there. You know, I there was an excellent play at Complex and I asked one of the assistant principal, why did you allow the students to go to St. Joseph? She's the best volleyball player. They had never seen her play a volleyball game. So they didn't even know she was the best player. So she transferred the best player. Transferred her senior year. You know, and I'm like, nah, I wasn't going to allow her to transfer. I was doing everything to keep her here. I think connection, we have a lot of work to do. Education has changed so much, you know, but I believe in education, and I still think it's our only hope. You know, both Pang and you and Amumba and Tegan, I all have children. And I know that on a regular basis, you let your children know that education is important. I don't think you just put it on the wayside, you know?
No, sir. And that's a good way to segue to my question. Do you think parents need to be more involved?
Big time. Big time. Big time. Big time. Big time. I believe that parents assume too much. You know, you got to be involved in every aspect of your children's life. Every aspect. My children were forced. I was involved in their life, and they were forced to be involved in mine because by the time they're 2-3 years old, I got into every Complex game, so they got to come. They ride up and down Complex. They got to come, but everything that they did. My daughter, the oldest one, Carissa, she ain't a professional basketball player, but she played with Ricardo Richards' elementary team basketball, and they played against Claudio Marco. I think it was. And Claudio Marco beat the hell out of them. But my little Carissa scored 2 points. And when she scored that 2 points, I had the most noise in the gym. I jump up and down, I run. Yes, yes, yes. That was an ice cream treat and everything. I don't care to lose. You scored 2 points. You know, and I think children need to understand that. They need to understand that their parent is their biggest cheerleader. And you can't dong them because they lose, because of this. You're like, oh, no. You know, you get constructive criticism, but you got to be the biggest cheerleader. I looked at a YouTube video where they showed a number of small children, and they showed the parent, the children were watching TV, 2, 3, 4 years old, and the parent would come and put the head on the child's lap. And you saw the reaction in every one of those children. From patting them to leaning down to kissing the parent to smiling. So just that connection, you know, brought out a lot out of those students. So I believe in parental and Mumba, you had a strong mother, right or wrong?
You're right. That's true.
And she wasn't playing. She would mash you up if she got to mash you up so you could get educated.
That's true.
She worked with Hovenza, right?
Yeah, Hovenza, yeah.
When you see her coming in that coverall, you know it's business. She come in, you ain't got to worry. She ain't backing nobody. She come in to mash Mumba up. You better do what you gotta do. So
that's true. It's true.
That's a part of who you have become because you had such a strong mom. You know, when you have a strong mom, then you're hoping that somebody else supplement that, whether it's a big brother or aunt or uncle. But children need that reinforcement, man.
And I want to give a story time. Can I give a story?
Sure.
Go ahead, Tegan.
Mumba, get your timer because we're on time.
Yeah.
I'm normally the most cocky and in
Thank you.
terms of the panelists. They like to call me that all the time, right? But
Uh,
I remember when I went to see Vialet, son. You changed my life, and I'm gonna tell you. I don't know if you remember the contract that Irana sent me, and they have faxed it to you.
Yes.
And the year before, Pang, I get MVP in Iran, so I was looking for like a big time contract. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe like 350, 400 tau, you know. And man only sent me a contract for like 250. So I was pissed, my son. I was super pissed. They get my contract, my son. They read through my whole contract. And he was like, "What wrong with you?" I said, "Man, these man only offer me 250 tau, man, for 6 months. I supposed to be making like 300-400 tau, right?" They watch me, my son. So shit, you better go over there and make that 250 tau. You know what? You know, as a teacher for about 20-30 years, and I never even make $80,000. You making shit. You better sign that contract against Scott over there. I said, "You serious?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "You the principal of the school. You never make this amount of money." He said, "No." He said, "Man, take this pen and you better sign that shit and get your ass over there and make that damn money." I said, "Wow." And it really brought me back to reality because I was so caught into the athletic world. I was only thinking what I was what.
okay.
I didn't really know the type of lifestyle I had. And he really humbled me in a way like, you know, sometimes you really got to humble yourself and go for it. And I signed the contract and I went and I had a good year. But that experience, they really moved me because he kind of bring me back into reality. That was really cool. So I appreciate you for that, Vialet.
Thank you so much.
With guns and bombs.
Auntie, you won't believe what happened. I lost the signal when you were in the middle of your story. I had to come back on, but I gonna play it back because I wanna hear that story. But
Yeah,
I remember the documentary.
Yeah, it was basically when I get a contract, and I think they offered me 250 with bonuses and stuff like that. And then you was asking me like, "What wrong with you?" I was like, "Man, they only offered me 250,000 for 6 months. I wanted about 400." And you was like, "Dude, you know how much money I make as a principal?" And then when you he gone again.
He want to hear your story.
I know.
Somebody sabotaging your story.
That's
Via hear you. So
that was real talk though, man. He really
You
brought me back to reality.
And that's a good story. You remember how you used to always like tell me that you're proud of me for like taking college serious and so Vialet kind of play a role in that too, you know, because the last year I was on St. Croix, I had went back to school. Well, I tried to go back to school, buy my school clothes, everything. You know, this is after I couldn't play basketball no more, so I only had a few more classes left to graduate. So one day Vialet called me in the office and he was like, "Pan, why you want to come back to school? Like, what's the reason why you want to come back to school?" And I didn't really have an answer for him. He said it would be a lot more better if you could go to adult education, finish, get your diploma, and you could see about going after college or doing something, whatever you want to do. But he just told me he don't think school is the right idea, and he was right. Because if I had come back school, it would be for the same, and I would probably do the same things I was doing before. Like, I didn't want to play basketball. Now that I can't play basketball, I ain't got no motivation, nothing to push me, nothing to, what gonna make me go class now? You know what I mean? Like, really, what gonna make me go class?
Yeah.
Went to night school. One of the coolest thing I would go in night school, and one of my older sister was in night school with me, and we used to go school together. We used to go class together, and I just, that's how I finished school. Like I went night school. I finished when they have all the distraction, all the girls and the people coming up to me, and all they want to talk about is basketball, and I was able to focus. And I took that with me when I went to college. When I wasn't getting treated like a superstar in college. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to like, it's like I was brought down to reality. You know what I'm saying? And I was going to class. We all were like a family when I went to college because I went to a small school. So it was like a different environment. And I needed that. You know what I'm saying? And if it wasn't for Vialet, I probably went back to school and just goof off and not finish at all.
Another year, yeah.
And never went to college. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for his advice to tell me to go to adult education, and
Yeah.
that's how I finished and get my diploma. And that same summer, I started doing application for colleges. Went after a trip to Venezuela for the national team. Come back. I come back on a Wednesday. I on a plane on a Saturday going after college. And it just all
Excellent.
happened so quick, just from that conversation there.
Wow.
Mm.
So
Excellent. That's a good story, Pang.
that's a good story.
And thank you for that. Thank you, because I could have been in school and that last year and just goof it all off. Honestly.
So Vialet, we have a lot of questions in the chat that we want to get to. I want to ask you this personal question. You love our sports. Did you play any sports growing up?
You know, I played a little bit of everything, but one of my biggest, when we were going to Central High back then, Central High had a tremendous amount of individuals that used to throw out for basketball, like 120 individuals. And I did remember I tried out for Central High basketball team, and Lockhart was the coach back then. And back then the team used to be like pushers out of Grove. You know, most of the players were pushers out of Grove. And I remember getting cut in the last cut. And I remember as a 11th grader, I was so disappointed, you know, so disappointed. But I went on in college. We did a lot of intramural. I played volleyball, basketball, softball. So I could do a little bit of everything. I bowl. I don't do anything now because just so busy, you know. But I do a little bit of everything, and was heavily involved in horse race as a owner. Did some grooming, some training. So I've been involved in a number of sports on a regular basis. And when I want to correct one thing, because somebody just sent me a text, they say Lavon Brown, and Lavon Brown was a student, but it was Lavon Jones that I was referring to when I spoke about going on to the Olympics.
Tegan stepping away to tend to his data real quick and come back.
Yeah, Tegan is a real good dad. I know. He does a super job. I get a chance to see him at St. Croix. He does a real good job.
Tegan is a awesome person. Period. A lot. If
That's facts.
anybody ain't really got a chance to meet Tegan, he's very humble and he just always on the right path.
Yes, I agree.
That's
A
true.
good friend to keep in your corner.
So we got a question here from Ms. Bryson. The passion of teachers is different. How do we motivate the teachers of today?
It's going to take a lot. You know, I think that a lot of time we have professional development, and we bring people from all over to do the professional development. And we do have retired individuals that had a tremendous amount of passion. And a lot of time, I believe that if they utilize, you know, some of the retirees that have made a tremendous impact, to be a mentor. You know, I've always, my wife was a second, a third, and a sixth grade teacher, a super teacher. You know, I've always said I don't understand why they don't allow you to mentor younger teachers, and sometimes you need to do that. You know, Bryson did an excellent job in the music program. Kevry is a result of her in the music program. We have Eric Wheely, who's also was a music teacher, you know, assistant principal, Sasha Alexander. All of them came through the music program and went on to be music educators. So I think we're going to need to utilize sometimes some of our homegrown talent. But we
Well, we haven't. Oh, he back. Can you hear him, Mumba?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm back now. That
Okay.
was somebody trying to call. I had to leave. I was getting problem with reception. We have
Gotcha.
The young generation is a bit different. You know, back when we went to be an educator, we went to be an educator for our life. You know, I mean, our age bracket individuals, they became a nurse, they became a lifelong nurse. Now you have a lot of individuals who go from job to job. And it's hard to develop passion when you're doing one thing 1 year, next thing the next 2 years, and next thing. So, and it's hard to build programs too. You know, to build successful program, you need individuals who are going to be in a certain position for a certain period of time. So, even you might have a teacher that isn't the best in the world, you know, but if you work with a teacher, they could become really, really good. But if you have a turnover every 2-3 years, it is hard to build programs. And I think that is one of the biggest challenges that we're going to have as to how are we going to educate and motivate the next generation of teachers and nurses and police officers. I even worry sometimes, and I say in the Virgin Islands, if nobody don't want to become a teacher, nobody don't want to become a nurse, nobody don't want to become a police officer. If everybody just wants to be a thug, they want to be a flag, what is going to happen to the society that you live in? The society is going to have issues, and you're going to have to import people to do those jobs. We have had to import a large number of Filipino teachers, a large number of Jamaican teachers to fill the void. And these are positions where our children can get a job automatically if they go into these areas. Right now, any math science teacher will be hired in the Virgin Islands. Any nurse that get a degree and come back home will get a job in the Virgin Islands. And we raised the starting salary for nurses to $63,000 to be competitive. And they will get a job. We just had Brittany Dawson. She was after our time. She came home as a midwife and nurse practitioner, graduate of complex. But we have how are we going to be able to motivate that next generation of individuals? Somebody spoke about Mr. Christian. He was a lifelong educator. How are we going to motivate that next generation of young individuals to really put a stake in developing a particular profession or a particular occupation that they're in?
Well said.
Definitely well said.
Any more questions in the chat, member?
Yes. We have a question from Mark Daniel. If you were Commissioner of Education, what would you do to bring about meaningful change in the department in the best interests of the territory?
That question will probably take 2 hours to answer. Because there's so much that you would have to elaborate on. But I do believe that the Commissioner of Education
probably got somebody call. No, he said he got somebody calling in.
Yeah.
Another call?
Yeah.
You good? You good?
Yeah. We can't see you though.
We can't see you, but we could hear you.
Let me see. Yeah,
you good? You good?
We have a next. No, I took it off. I don't know what happened there. The Commissioner of Education, and maybe I almost forget the question. The Commissioner of Education should be able to select their team. So the Commissioner of Education should be able to select the superintendents, the deputy superintendents, etc., to select individuals that have the same educational philosophy and mindset as them. And a lot of times, a lot of those positions are so political that we don't place individuals in a position that have the requisite experience to understand what actually takes place in school on a day-to-day basis. And if you never run a school, it's hard to imagine what really takes place in a school on a day-to-day basis. You could only have a belief. Oh, I think this happened. I think no, but you actually need to have that requisite experience. And I think that the Commissioner of Education need to be a no-nonsense person who must develop high expectation for the teachers and high expectation for the students, and be able to relate the high expectation to both groups so that you can get buy-in, that you can move these programs to the next level. They got to actually believe in themselves and believe in the program that they're running or the program that they're actually involved in or attending. But there's a lot that I would have to say in terms of what needs to be done.
I don't know if you have a button to press, but we still can't see you. We could hear you good.
I'm trying to figure out because it's not.
Might need to go out and come back in.
Yeah, let me do that.
Yeah, that's no problem. Big up Tyro, Alec. Big up Tyro, Alec. You've been. Go ahead.
Have you guys asked them about how is it like in the Senate?
Yeah.
As yet? That way
no, we haven't.
No, we haven't. We haven't. So.
Because I got a couple senators questions.
we definitely
Well, it seems like Vialet would be the right person to get involved in the sports program because he's such a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am back up, and I I would like. I mean, I am always amenable to get involved in a lot of stuff, but I am not. I am in politics, but I'm not a politician.
okay.
But I am involved in politics because I want to be a change agent. I want to be accountable to the people of the Virgin Islands. But I am not good at doing somebody's bidding. So if I'm in a position and you're over me and you're telling me to do something that I don't think is in the best interest of the person or I don't think that is right, I ain't doing it. And that has been one of my, I won't say drawback, but that has been an issue for individuals because they tell me to do this or that, and I'm just like, no, I'm not. I'm not going to do it because I don't think it is right. When I was at Arthur Richards, I remember the perfect example. Under Governor John D. Young, they were laying off like 400 individuals, and they came to the school to lay off my dishwasher and my laborer, and one guy had teaching music, and the commissioner came and she said, I have these termination letters, and you need to go and give them to these individuals. And I tell her, no, you need to give the letter to them yourself. I didn't terminate them. I am not going to hand any letter to them. I want to keep these individuals. You're going to terminate a laborer that's making $20,000 and a dishwasher that's making $20,000. That don't make any sense.
Wow.
Her mandate was, well, you need to do it. And I said, no, I don't. And I'm not going to do it. And I did not do it. I said, I'll call them and let them go to the conference room, and you tell them yourself. And they felt that it was disrespectful or being a bit insubordinate. But I believe that I am not going to do anybody dirty bidding. You do it yourself. I'm going to do what is in my heart and what I think is in the best interest of everyone. And if I don't think it's in the best interest, I don't care what you do. You can't make me do it.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So my principal, my senator, I always give you the high accolades. Let's get into the senator a little bit, right? I know you're a big horse man and stuff like that, and I always love your passion for horse racing. So my biggest question is, what's the update with the track and stuff like that? And then why did the horse man them had to go and shit down Kenny food sale, man? Jesus Christ. The man with that shit down Kenny food.
Big up ego. Big up.
It would take you to ask such a question, Egan. Back in the 31st.
I love Kenny. I felt so bad for him that day when I watched that thing live. Oh my God. That was a lot of house around the man cake was on.
Well, I did go down and I met with the house owners on that day. And I was successful in arranging a meeting with Government House. I went down and I called the governor and told him what was going on and told him that he needed to meet with the house owners because, in fact, to just go and destroy the makeshift track without having a discussion with them was not in the best interest of those individuals. So I was able to set up a meeting with the horse owners along with the governor. He said that they were violating the law, that it wasn't covered under the Racing Commission. I have drafted legislation to deal with what is called bush racing. Bush racing is done all over the U.S., especially Louisiana, Texas, and those areas. And some of our top jockeys, Victor LeBron, Maganja, Julio Felix, all of them actually learned to ride by racing in the bush. So to stop it, I think was the wrong approach at the time. Instead of having a conversation, we do have the pandemic, so there was some issues with social distancing, but. The real issue with the racetrack is that the contract was given to VIGL. It's a $27 million investment. And they started investing in the racetrack. They were able to replace the surface at St. Thomas, bring in rails, bring in a new gate. They started at St. Croix. They finished with the real project. And when former Governor Mapp last election, Southland Gaming, which is an entity out of St. Thomas, they filed a lawsuit against the government of the Virgin Islands and VIGL. And in July, and their lawsuit was saying that they run VLTs and slot machines are similar to VLTs, and they are supposed to be the only game in St. Thomas, so they can't come. So they filed a lawsuit, and the judge, the first ruling, ruled that slot machines and VLTs were the same, so it stopped the contract. Now, the bad thing is that the individuals who have the slot machines, they're not interested in investing in the track. So they just want to stop the project so that they could literally continue to make their millions in St. Thomas. So recently, Judge Malloy ruled on it, and he threw out Judge Gomez's ruling. And we're back to the table where Judge Malloy have asked them to go into mediation, or they need to turn in briefs in September. So it looks like it's going to come to a resolution that September, that Judge Malloy will rule as to whether or not VIGL could continue with their investment on both tracks. My position is, if they can't, if they start from investing in St. Thomas, then continue with St. Croix, because we don't have VLT. So we need to separate the contract, go back to the table, and have the investment in St. Croix continue, because horse racing keeps a lot of guys off of the street. A lot of guys.
That's true.
They're involved, and when your horse running on Sunday, you ain't rolling on nobody. You want to see your horse run.
That's
Right.
So it's very important to have horse racing. The guys at WD Downs did a good job in keeping the peace. Farmer Complex student, Bala, David Rooster, along with some other individuals. But they did a good job in keeping the peace and adhering to certain rules and regulations. So definitely that's one of the pushing me. I want horse race to return. I've been pushing the governor to come to a mediation, to call all parties to the table and to work it out. It's only the governor that could do that. He's the only person that could actually negotiate. The Senate can't negotiate. So I'm calling him to pay more attention.
Oof.
He hit ignore quick. Yeah.
Well, when it's not when I'm losing signal, somebody's calling me and the Wi-Fi was choppy. But we needed to be resolved. We needed to be resolved. Horse racing is the sport of kings. It's the largest spectator sport in the Virgin Islands. So we need to get it back up and going. We need Corona to go, and we need to get our racetrack reopened so that we could have a big, fun time down there on the track.
That is true. That's true.
I actually have a Corona question. What are the requirements? I just see a lot of people flying home and posting their pictures and coming back up. Is there any stipulations against people flying in due to the pandemic?
And that's a good question, because I just had a discussion with that yesterday on the airport. My daughter went back to North Carolina yesterday. You're supposed to show a negative test result if you're coming from a hot state, like Florida, where you guys are. Florida is considered a hot state. The rate is high. Yeah. But unfortunately, certain elements of the protocol isn't being enforced. So individuals are coming down and they're not really checking to see whether or not they have a negative test. And we're now under lockdown, going to go back under lockdown tomorrow. And if we don't implement and enforce a protocol after the lockdown, even if we flatten the curve now, in a month or two, it's going to go back to be the same thing. So we need individuals to comply. A lot of the bars and restaurants are complying, but there's some that they're just literally having parties. I mean, everybody's there, no face masks. We also need our young people to realize that they could be asymptomatic, and because somebody's your friend, that don't mean that they don't have it. You can't have all of these gatherings where everybody's up in one another's face, mask. You could carry it home to your mom, your grandmother. You have seen a lot of that happen in Florida, where the numbers went off the chart when they reopened the states. So we're going to have to come up with through Department of Health and the governor executive orders. He's going to have to make sure that what he's putting in place, that he's actually enforcing.
Good question, Pam.
Yeah, I got you.
So, Vialet, when did you get the itch that you wanted to become a senator?
I've always thought about politics. I've always said, hey, I'm going to run someday. And then I was like, let me wait until my girls are grown. I wanted to be there during their education. And then I was transferred to Arthur Richards and were very successful in getting a lot of those students on the right path. But realized that after I was finishing 7th and 8th grade and I got to high school, some of them were falling through the cracks. So I went and said, I think it's time for me to run, because I think that from the Senate, I can be over a lot more programs than just education. I'll have input in a lot more than just education. So I ran and I was successful. I know. I would say one of my biggest accomplishments is that since I have been elected, I've been able to expand the course offering at UVI. You know, one of the first bill I passed was to have a BSN program at the St. Croix campus at the University of the Virgin Islands. And that program is doing very well. We have 14, 15 young ladies and young men graduating with nursing degree on a regular basis. I passed legislation to create a master's in social work on the St. Croix campus. I passed legislation to revitalize the agriculture degree. So, you know, I'm able to impact a lot of different areas. I've passed quite a number of economic development legislation. I passed a Hotel Development Act, tax increment financing. So, you know, I think I'm able to make a bigger impact overall to the island and the Virgin Islands as a whole. So I think I'm down to 5%, I think.
5%.
You need to go. You need to go to do what he doing back there. He got an extension card.
The thing is, you can't plug in both at the same time.
Gotcha.
But I would say you guys can still hear me.
Yeah, we could still hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
dying, son. I have to run and get an extension real quick.
you got you got iPhone. Your iPhone charges your headphone port as well.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So, Sid,
Senator, I got one more important question before your phone dead, before you can charge, because you gotta come back.
I'm gonna plug in and I get it static again. I hope you guys can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So this year probably is going to be one of the most exciting year in terms of the senator race. Obviously, you don't know who's my number one vote getter, but believe me, a lot of people coming out the woodwork. Chucky is back, and people in hat in, and then I don't know if you ever get Springer in with the 2 helicopter on the landing pad. What you think about the race? What you think about this thing?
You're something else. But Tegan, I think that people are going to vote for you based on your performance. And I think I work hard on a regular basis. You know, I tell people just check my record, check who goes to meeting, check who is involved on a regular basis. You know, and I think when they check my record and they check my work, I think they're going to continue to support me, and I will continue to encourage them, you know, to support me in this particular seat. I did very well in the primary, and I'm going to continue to work to make sure that I am reelected. I run first in the primary. Then I'm going to continue hitting the streets as much as possible and getting the word out.
Definitely, you know, you got my vote for sure. I think the number one thing we need to do in terms of the VI in general, the younger generation does not want to vote. What can you do in terms of getting some of these young guys being able to be registered to vote and then taking part? Because they're kind of dropping off with the next generation.
Well, hopefully, you know, we're seeing some young people here or there who are getting into key positions. So we're hoping that they're going to be able to motivate at that base. You look at Shamari, who have the largest troop, and St. Croix, his troop have 500 individuals. He is the director of festivals of St. Croix, so you're hoping that his age group, as a result of him having an important position, would be able to motivate the base. But I think a lot is your generation to be able to explain the importance of voting. If you look at the United States and the large number of blacks and minorities that did not go out and vote when Hillary Clinton was running against Trump, and now we end up with Trump, you would see why it's so important to vote. You know, and if Black America don't go out to vote, then you have 4 more years of Trump. What is going to happen to the nation overall? Exactly. And the same as in the Virgin Islands. If you don't vote, then you can't complain about the leadership because you're part of the problem. You made sure that those individuals were elected. You know, the individuals, once they have a base and the base is called to vote, they're going to continue to be re-elected. You need to let your voice be heard. You know, voting Black people fought to get the right to vote. Women suffrage, they fought to get a right to vote. So it's so important. I'm hoping that young individuals could understand the importance of voting. I've been voting from 18 years old. I try to imagine what would be the reason why you don't vote. But definitely, I see the board of election. They've been using some individuals to try and get it out, Rashidi and all of those to try to get out the message. So I'm hoping that those that are not registered register and that they're out and they cast a vote in this election. We need to be represented.
Vote, people, vote. It's important for change.
And on the mainland too, we gotta vote. We gotta vote.
Yeah, definitely go out and vote. Definitely go out and vote. It's definitely important, So
Vialet has becoming a senator like is it what you expected?
I followed politics a long time. I read a lot. I'm an avid reader. That's one of my pastimes. I like to read. So I think I was ready for the job. It is a lot of work. The inner workings are totally different to what people actually believe, and what happens in the legislature and what people think outside is two totally different things. But you need individuals who are elected who are going to give 100%. You don't need individuals who are just going to talk a lot, but when it comes time to work, when it comes time to attend meetings, that they're not there. But for the most part, to a certain degree, some days I'm elated to be a senator. Some days my head is filled with worry. Like right now, my head is filled with worry. We have a major session on Tuesday. So you have its ups and downs, but more ups than downs, because just being able to serve your people is a humbling experience.
Yeah, well, I personally think you're doing an excellent job. You and I would put Johan and Senator Sawit in St. Thomas. I mean, you guys easily are the most recognizable in terms of keeping people accountable. I think that's what the Virgin Islands really been looking for, someone who can keep all of us accountable. And from day one, that's already in your blood. So there's no faking in you. So just keep doing what you're doing, and you definitely have my you got me behind you 1,000,000%.
Yeah, and I thank you for that. And one of the throwback is when you keep people accountable, there are certain people that get upset. I've had individuals that say, "Oh, why are you going after him? He's a little man like you. Let him get a $300,000 contract, but it's not needed. A $300,000 lease is not needed. Let him get a $2.1 million contract. It's not needed. It's when you get money and the money's supposed to go to the people. And I'll give an example. Monies that came down for the Housing Finance Authority, the Envision program to fix roof. We still have a number of blue roof in St. Croix. And you take $2.1 million out of the money for advertising and marketing.
Wow.
I'm like, really? What are you advertising and marketing? You already have all a list of individuals who need a roof fixed. And when you look on the flip side, and you have 41 contractors hired to fix roof, but only 4 actually have any work now, then there's an issue. So when you point that out, then people are upset and they say, "No, you need." But I'm like, no, every dollar adds up. And if we are responsible as a legislature, we'll be able to save a tremendous amount of money, and we'll be able to have a better accountable budget. The money's supposed to go to the people. The money's supposed to go to services. It's not supposed to go to a special group or a few individuals. And I'm a stickler for that. And sometimes people are not pleased. They're very upset. But it is what it is. Because I believe that when you're in a position, you're hired to do what you have to do. And who don't like it, they will be all right. You do what you have to do, because and you guys are young. I think you need to look at and begin to think, especially with your children and everything else, what is your legacy going to be? 40, 50 years from now, what is your legacy going to be? Right. When you hear Pang, when you hear Mumba, Tigan, what is your legacy going to be? What are your children going to say? What are those close around you going to say? Is that going to be something that you're proud of? And I want my legacy to be something that I'm proud of. So I'm going to do what I believe is right. Because once you do what is right, your legacy is going to be fine.
That is true. That's so true.
I like how you speaking candid. You could tell that you're being honest. Is it hard to keep that transparency with the people and being loyal to your panel mates and your legislation mates? Is it had to be keep transparency between the people and stay honest to your colleagues?
No, not really, not at all, because um, I think that's it. What you see is what you get. I am very, very honest. I don't lie. I don't tell constituents what they want to hear. If somebody asks me, well, are we getting our tax next week? The easiest thing to say, I'm going to check on it, but I won't say that. If I know you're not going to get it next week, I'm going to tell the play, no, we're not going to. You're not going to get it at this particular time. I've been asked some of those questions. Like, hey, we're in a pandemic. We're trying to meet payroll. We're trying to pay health insurance. We're trying to pay GRS. So there's no way that you're going to have extra cash to do X, Y, and Z. Some people don't want to hear that answer, but the answer is true. And I think when you're truthful with individuals, even if they're upset for a minute, they appreciate it after.
Yes,
So I'm just
definitely.
honest and truthful. If you ask me a question, I'm gonna just tell you what's on my mind. If Tiga, I need 10,000 for my program value. I ain't got 10 Tiga, I got 4. Walk with that. And that's it. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna try and get you the 10 Tiga. Let me know. I don't have that. I have 4. You can walk with that. He said yes or no, and we move from there.
Yep. How close are we in terms of getting? I know it was worked when Senator Richards was there to get like a gym on St. Croix. Is there any plan?
The FEMA has been stalling and everything, literally. So it's been, we have a lot of projects in the pipeline, but we need to get them going. We do have an agreement to build a multi-purpose center at the University of the Virgin Islands. It'll be similar to UVI Gym in Damas. FEMA have given the okay, but we got to go through all of the paperwork and get it done. Central High Gym is going to be rebuilt. We have the okay to rebuild a new Arthur Richards School, and they're going to start the demolition of Arthur Richards School just now. So what I'm trying to make sure is that we get a gymnasium that meets all of the qualifications for international tournaments. We had a discussion with Terran Richards and just before he passed away and before the storms had hit, where we're going to retrofit Central High School gym to meet international specifications so that we could bring the national teams to play in the Virgin Islands. We were supposed to get Santo Domingo, and Canada was supposed to come. And then the hurricane hit and really threw that back. But part of building nationalistic pride is having your national teams play where they're from, to play a game here. A lot of people have not seen our national teams ever participate. I had the opportunity because I went to Puerto Rico. When you played Tegan, when Tim Duncan were playing in Puerto Rico, I was down there, and I went to St. Thomas. But when you have your national team able to play on home soil, it's a whole different ball game, because teams just have a following. You're a Marlins fan or Miami Heat. They have a whole following, but when you don't have any national team, it's an issue, and we need to have the facility where we could have those type of events.
Yeah, that is true.
Well said.
You mentioned a lot. You mentioned a lot that needs to be done. What about Paulie Joseph Stadium? I saw you did a post on Paulie Joseph Stadium, and it broke my heart just reading the post.
I am so pissed with Paulie Joseph Stadium. I'm pissed with the contractor. I'm pissed with Department of Public Works. The contractor have told us that he has already spent $14 million, and you saw the pictures yesterday. You can't see nothing. He's talking about a lot of pilings that went into the ground. We just approved an additional $8.2 million. They had a budget of 20, so it's up to 28.2 to have the stadium completed. However, in this particular monies that we passed, because they haven't been doing the job, we put in requirements that they're going to have to meet a certain stage of work before they have access to the additional $4 million. And we also put in that they have to have approved permit and plans for the actual stadium before we give them any more money. But he has a site. It's an eyesore. He doesn't even maintain the area around where they're doing construction. And any day you're seeing 4 or 5 individuals alone that's working. So I am calling on government house to call to have public works have a serious conversation with the contractor to get that project finished. They said it's going to be finished by next year. But when you drive down there, you can't have a $20 million project and you got 5 people working on it. It doesn't make sense. Right now,
true.
don't have any baseball field. That is closed. The field by Arthur Richards, Harris Clark. That's where the modular units are. The closest field to the town of Register is Wim. And it shouldn't be that way. We need to get a field in Frederickson. We need to get fields, multiple areas for our children and young adults to be able to participate in sports. I'm pushing that.
That's good. That's good. That's Mumbai, little baby there, the baseball field.
It is. I am watching this picture right here. He's winding up for a pitch. Glass on my desk.
Nice. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate
I
that.
don't know if I'm trying to see it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That's my rookie. That was my rookie year too.
Yeah, I remember I got that. And then, how long ago was that?
That was in 2004. 16 years ago.
It's brand new. So
that says a lot about you, Vialet. You take good care of prized possessions, unlike Tegan. Tegan can't find mine.
I know you understand
that. I'm gonna take a picture of it and send it to Tegan.
I can find it. Don't worry, Senator. I get you, Mumba. I can find it for you.
Tegan, you can't find that. When you're building a house, you lose everything. You can't find that.
I know.
I got to find it.
Tegan got rooms in your house that he can't find.
So let me ask you this one thing, Senator, because I know you're passionate in sports. All of we know that, and but one of the things that I don't understand in terms of the Virgin Islands, we don't get that type of let me find the right word. I can't say exposure because a lot of people know us on this panel, but we don't recognize our athletes like how Puerto Rico, the Venezuela, USA. The Virgin Islands have so many great athletes in all different sports. How close are we to get maybe like a sports museum or something? Like, I think that's one of the biggest fall for the younger generation because they don't have nobody to kind of look up to, so to speak. Rest in peace, Harry Clark just died. We didn't even hear much about it. New York did something for him. Puerto Rico did something for him. He's from St. Croix. We didn't do anything. It's like ho hum. Nobody. It doesn't matter. Why you think that is?
I agree with you. I mean, it's a wonderful idea. We need a sport museum because a lot of people don't even know who the individuals were for the Virgin Islands that are actually doing well right now and did well years before. So it is the closest thing we have to a sport museum is Rashidi Place in St. Thomas. And we need to move to a whole totally the different level in terms of getting that done. We have, I think, a big problem we have is that for the last so many years we've just been fighting, just trying to keep the economy going. We've just had one incident after the other. 2012, Provenza pulled out. Then we finally got ourselves back on our feet a bit. The hurricanes hit. We finally got ourselves back on our feet again. Corona hit. So it's just been one after the other. But I think with all the federal funds that are here and the economic development projects that we can pay for by utilizing the federal monies, we got over $4 billion in federal money to spend in the Virgin Islands. We've only spent $1 billion, and that was at the beginning with the debris cleanup and the blue roof, etc. So the opportunity is there that we could design a sports museum as a part of the path moving forward. I'm waiting for us to continue to have these discussions as to what we think is important for the Virgin Islands, and And that's definitely one. We need a sport and we need a culture museum. You know, and those will become places where tourists coming in and when you come back with your children, they can walk into a museum and actually see, you know, those former Virgin Islanders who did well. So I agree with you, TJ. Just take some work.
Tegan, you got some work to do.
Well, Tegan is in the good spot, so we, you know, he wanted to put a lot of stuff together. Tegan have more ideas and fingers. Okay.
What?
So Vialet, we always ask each guest this question: Who would you like to see on the podcast?
Oh wow!
It could be any. It doesn't have to be somebody involved in sports. It could be anyone.
I would like. I think that you guys are known. I mean, you're known for sports. I would like to see some individuals who have really done well in sports, that have that character, the right attitude, that our children don't know about, that can become a role model for the next generation moving forward. You got somebody like Maganja Felix, Julio Felix, who has been riding professionally from 1989 on the mainland, who have the most wins of any jockey coming from St. Croix, and just have a wonderful personality, wonderful character. I'd like to see somebody like Chisa Brooks, who have a doctorate in chemical engineering, come from a very, very humble beginning, to be able to speak to individuals as to how they were able to achieve what they achieved. I think that Kevry would be an excellent person to get. I had Kevry.
No, not yet.
He making waves in music. The man writing for Trinidad. You know, his beats are down in Trinidad. He's just off the chart. You know, so I think they would be real good individuals to be able to have on the program.
Do you have them? Do you have their contact information?
I could send it to you.
Okay, I appreciate that. We appreciate that.
I
appreciate that.
I think we need to. I did something. Top 30 under 30, which was my daughter ID, and every day for a month, we recognize a young person under 30 years old, 30 or under, who have done well, and just wrote a brief bio about them and featured them on Facebook. And then we had a ceremony after, and it went really well. And I think a lot of people were quite surprised because they didn't know the story. They see you walking around the street every day, and they don't know what your story is. So it was a good way of giving exposure, especially to the younger individuals, that we have a lot of people who are doing well. Coronavirus kind of limit us this year, but we're going to try to do it again and do it virtual. But I believe that the more that our younger generation could see your generation and the generation after you guys, so you guys get a little old now too. So if they could see that generation that did what they're supposed to do, that took their education serious, or at least after school they got the act together, it would be what we need right now. We have had a spate of criminal activity in the Virgin Islands, just group against group, senseless killing, like just lack of morals, just a real bad situation. And the only way we got to flatten the curve and be able to inspire the younger generations that what you guys have is this a better life. The three of you guys ain't looking behind our back. The three of you guys ain't worrying about tomorrow, who gonna shoot up this, or you got to do this or that. You guys could be comfortable and enjoy your children, and we need to be able to get a message across to everybody.
It's big time.
Yeah, some for outlets. Somebody said we have to make sports attractive again. Mountain said we have to make sports attractive again.
Mountain, I used to jump out the roof.
Yeah.
So here's my question now. How much we took this top 5 questions today?
we have a lot of stuff going on, and I just don't understand why some people saying got this or that. I mean, when we had Corona, I always got some sport going on.
Yes, it did.
But we gotta come out. You can't drop your child to the baseball field and leave. And then you're complaining, and a lot of people do that. You gotta come out and you gotta support. And I just pray and hope that we could do better when it comes to supporting our children and supporting individuals. And we have the capacity to do better. So
here's my super question of the day. This year I'll poke the beer a little bit. Give me your top 5 super athlete of complex Barracuda history. Top 5.
Super athlete.
Male or female?
I don't give you more than 5. That's a good question, though. In track and field, for sure, Lavon Jones, because of how far she went to the Olympics. Alison Peters had talent out of the world, and she was also running on the international level. Big Martha, I mean, people don't forget about her, but Martha actually played for University of Miami for 4 years. So
yes,
she had a brief look at the WNBA. Elisa and Dinell were multi, just excellent volleyball players that were able to get scholarship to play volleyball. You got your masters player, you were out there. I mean, just off the chart. Pan played in the national team from such a young age. I think you were like 19 when you played in the national team with the men national team.
Yeah.
Such a young age. Mumba was unbelievable because people think that he was such a great baseball player. They needed to see him play basketball. Who haven't seen Mumba play basketball, they lost a very, very important element. Somebody that I think a lot of people don't think about with sports. But Big Clint, I don't know how much. Tiga know Clint. I don't know if Pang and Mumba know Clint Williams.
Nah,
but
I think I heard the name before.
Clint was big. Clint was like 6'10", 6'11", probably 310 pounds. We put him in the center, and everybody used to run into him and fall down. But he actually got a 4-year scholarship to play basketball in Alabama. He's now one of our assistant coach for our national team. The female team, right, Egan?
yes.
So
he's an assistant in the States as well.
He's an assistant coach to a university on the mainland. I could probably think of some more when we go down to baseball. We haven't had a breakthrough in baseball being able to make it all the way to the major leagues. So we've had a number of individuals in the minor league. We had the twins, the Khartoum twins, that got a full 4-year scholarship to play football, I think up in Minnesota, along with Tutine, trying to remember Tutine first name, and along with Everson. So we had like 4 or 5 students that got scholarship to play football and did very well. Everson went on to be one of the top shot put throwers in the state. Where he was at. So there are quite a number of individuals who I think have gone to that level, and I think that's what I want to see our students to be able to achieve once again, to move to the level that you guys have moved to.
Well, I know one thing. If we can't get the VI museum, we need to start our Barra museum. And let me have the Barra Hall of Fame.
That's why when you guys left, I hang all of the banners where we won. And I wish that they would have continued that. I hang the banners for sure where we won as well. We had an awesome soccer team at one point, that did very, very well. And, I think that school pride is the most important thing you can have, man. When you got school pride, you ain't got to worry about nothing. Children want to come. They're going to do what they're supposed to do. So I hope that we could begin to see school pride in the Virgin Islands again at all the schools, at the Caribs, the Chicken Hawks, Devil Rees, that all of the schools could show that school pride. I live to see where Charlotte Amali basketball team is so weak, right, Egan? That we laugh at, well, this can't be Charlotte Amali because they have one powerhouse program.
Right.
Every time you're playing them, you got to worry. I mean, when you playing Shatamani now, Tegan will beating them easy. You know, so
Yeah, but they're coming back. They're coming back though. They are coming. They are rising fast.
Yes, but I want to see that that school pride. You know, when you had Gutu and Petty and all of those coaching the Charlotte Tamale program, they were really into making sure that they had a quality program. So I'm hoping that we could get quality across the board, and that once again, you know, sports could be the high point, and music and the academic program. We just need to showcase our children, man. I mean, when you reach the point where you have a moot court competition and there's no team for the St. Croix Public Schools, or you have an academic quiz bowl and there's no team from the St. Croix Public School, that should be mandatory. You know, our schools got to compete. Competition is what gives you that edge. You can't be running a program and you're free to compete. You got to compete in all areas. So
Right.
hopefully we can get back to that. Hopefully.
How is the return of school looking in the islands? Is it going to be virtual or kids
It's
are
going
going
to
back?
it's going to be virtual until January.
Okay.
We have asked them to do a reassessment every month. Though right now, we're not doing well in terms of the numbers, especially St. Thomas. The numbers on St. Thomas are off the chain. If you look at the numbers per 100,000, we were higher than Florida. We had, I think, 36 in Florida at 31. You know, so we got to get the numbers under control, and we're going to have to do a lot of other stuff with the schools in order to get it open. We got to improve in our ability to keep the schools clean. We're going to be able to have to hire additional janitorial staff. I have made the recommendation that they go to touchless devices in the restroom, urinals, toilets, etc., which you don't have to actually touch the device. We have a lot of work that we need to do to retrofit the schools and get them ready. We received some $20 million to do that. You know, so I'm hoping that the Department of Education spend the money wisely.
Sounds good.
It's working. It's been a pleasure.
Oh man, the pleasure was all ours, man. You don't know how this feels for us. This is like a trip down memory lane, and none of us would be where we would be today if you weren't a part of that and played some type of role in our life.
I appreciate that so much, but I really think that was my responsibility, and it was a joy, you know, doing it and interacting with you guys. You know, I know you from then. I got to know all of you for the first time in high school. You know, and you graduate, and Pang don't come home as much. You don't come home, Pang. You don't be home as much.
Not like before, no.
Okay. But I see Mumba when he's home, and I see Tegan all the time, and you know, it's always a pleasure to meet up. When I see Mumba, we talk in the village. Last time we met up, we talked like for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
In the village, so it's always a pleasure to see you guys, and a pleasure to see farmer students. You know, it gives you a really good feeling. You know, and when you guys walk out, you know, I'm telling those around me, you know, hey, that's Mumba Rivera. You know, he did blah blah blah. He does an excellent. That's Tegan. Everybody around me know who Tegan is. You know, that time they know you without seeing you, because I tell them about, you know, that tenacity that you had when you were a ball player. So it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure for all of you guys, and I just proud of you guys and want you to continue to move in that positive direction that you have been doing for all of these years.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, man. We appreciate that, man. Definitely.
And we super proud of you as well. I mean, Arlo, we have so much respect for you. You're still the only senator principal who can still suspend us and we done school. But as long as you, if you say the word, we can listen. And that's
right.
That's the fact. We just respect you so much. And it's not on respect in terms of beyond that, we generally love you as a person, more than a senator, more than a principal, just the person you are. Keep doing what you're doing. I with you 1,000,000%. Nobody can say nothing about you to me, you know. I don't need to bring it back to you. Nigga get spoke. I definitely can get your name. So you don't need to worry about that. I got your back.
I thank you for that. I thank you
Yeah,
for that.
man.
And Mumbai is a great initiative that you're doing, because you're getting the word out, you're getting people to be able to know individuals at a different level. So you and Pang and Tegan, hats off to you guys for this podcast. And I
No,
learned
no,
something new.
no. Hats
Yeah,
on
man.
for this
Hats
podcast.
on. He's the hottest.
Hats
Hats on.
on.
Yeah.
Hats on. Hats on.
Uh,
And I
you,
learned
hey,
something new today, some steam yard. I was like, what the hell is this steam yard thing?
yeah.
So, congratulations, brothers.
Yeah, man.
Thanks.
Hey, you
Thanks.
more than welcome to come back anytime, Vialet, man.
All
So
right. Okay, we'll
yeah,
do that.
man. Yeah, appreciate you, man, for giving us your time, man, and give everybody a chance to, learn about you and everything, man. So we appreciate it, man. Much love to you, man.
And
Thanks a lot.
especially for the things that you're doing now.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
that. Appreciate that. All right, you guys take it easy.
All
All
right.
right,
Good
Vialet,
night.
you too, man.
Okay.
Man, good night. Much
Love.
love.
Okay.
Good night.
Yeah, man.
Just hit that little leave down at the bottom there.
Man, that was like you said, bang, back in memory lane. That was awesome. I mean,
It
that's awesome.
was. It was, man. I could just remember being in complex and and honestly, it trickled down to his staff. Like it really did. Like it really did trickle down to his staff. All the monitors them were cool. He ain't really had no
Some of them
monitor.
were cool. Nah, some of them were cool.
Well,
Oh,
for
Mumba.
Some
for
of them.
me,
Sorry,
for
Mumba.
me,
Much love to all of them, though. We cool now, but
right. For
yeah.
me, all of them were cool. It wasn't like trying to abuse their authority. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
no monitor was trying to abuse authority, and it wasn't just Billy as the principal at the game. It was the teachers. Like all of my teachers used to, with an exception of few, used to come to the games then.
That's true. You're right about that. Yeah.
And then we used to talk about the game the next day, you know what I'm saying, in class, when I was in class. But it was just complex was like a big family. And I could remember being in Central, and a lot of people in Central used to be like, man, I glad I ain't going complex and stuff. That it just looked like it gonna just be a jail. And
Yeah.
it was like the total opposite. The total opposite. Complex was the East Side High from Saved by the Bell. Like it was that type of environment, honestly. And I ain't trying to big up Complex or nothing because I went there. It just we used to do everything. Like when skip day for the seniors, like all the party them the jam them that we used to have. Like it just everything. Everybody wanted to be a part of everything. All the talent shows that we had. I could remember one day, like coming, leaving practice. For some reason, we could hear like a commotion going on in the auditorium. So we got and sit down we got in the auditorium and see like they practicing for a talent show, and they got a segment that they and it just so happened they got a segment that they need some models. And I don't even know if you remember this talent show, Tegan. Maybe even you, Mumba, because it might have been the year you were there too. You
Mhm.
don't remember me, Lenry,
Yeah.
Hassan,
I
modeling
remember. Yeah.
in a talent show? And we was there. The talent show was on Saturday, and we went in there the Friday after practice, and they had needed some models for the talent show. So
I
just
remember that. I remember
a,
that.
a
Yeah.
one night thing. They tell we meet up in Caribbean clothing Saturday morning. We went up there, try on some clothes, and the show is the night. That was one of the best feeling I ever had in my life, like the rush. Cause the way how we practice it that day is like everybody gonna be like in a position where the crowd can't see you, but you're gonna be on stage. But the spotlight ain't gonna be on you. When it's
Mhm.
your turn, it's gonna be like I don't remember it was a bunch of like girls dressed up in like cats in like some little skimpy outfit and with a tail and everything. So when it's your turn to like walk across the stage or whatever, the light gonna pop on you, the girls ain't gonna be like around you and then you gotta go and model. So I was last. So I get into hear the cheers for everybody, my son. Just listening to the cheers. I remember when you remember how quiet Hassani was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
son, I remember when the light went, and may he rest in peace. When the light went to Hassani, and all the girls them start screaming. I was like, "What? That's Hassani?" It was the craziest rush, my son. When Lenry, all the girls just see Lenry and they just start screaming. Hey, when I just was like trembling when it come to my tongue, but it was just nothing when the light come at me. And what was crazy? I was the first person to show up at Caribbean Clothing, so I get to choose first. This one Fubu had just touched the island. There was nobody on the island had a Fubu of like shirt, pants, nothing. So I get to try on Fubu because they didn't start selling it yet. So I get to wear like a blue Fubu hoodie, and I get to keep the clothes too. A jeans, and back then I used to like to wear Tim. It was a Fubu jeans. Bass. When I light shine, I mean, I had my foot on a chair, my head was down, the hoodie was down, listen, and I lift up my hoodie, the light come on. So you want to see every island girl running out to the stage? What? I feel like Fabio, man.
Fabio.
I feel
Fabio.
like what's that? Well, we're gonna take it down, Fabio. What's that dude? Tyson?
Tyson Beckford or whatever his name is.
Yes,
the model.
I feel like Tyson Beckford. I had like a toothpick in my mouth, and I trying to be serious walking across the stage. And, hey, dude, it was the realest heck. Hey. I have never been nervous on a basketball court. I was definitely nervous on that stage, my son. But the crowd went crazy, my son. I surprised I remember that day. I remember that. That was one of the funnest time in my life. But they tried to get me to do it again. But the reason I didn't do it is because what they wanted us to wear. They wanted us to be like more business, wearing a tie and some tight khaki pants, and I was like, nah, can't do that there.
Oh my gosh, man, that's crazy.
Man, I had just loved
Complex. Complex is really nice. A good high school experience. Trust me.
Good experience.
Definitely was.
It was great, man. It was great for real. It was a different wall, man. When I first come, it was the second year it was open because I was already there, so it was just a different wall. Man.
The LA just really care, man. The LA really in his heart. He had just cared. It didn't matter who you was.
Right.
Yeah.
You know how much VLA used to go west and them man flat his tires because he had to lay down the lap. Remember you was with them, man?
No. You making stories up now. Nobody never flat no VLA tires in west.
I tell you.
No. We not good. Hey, we not going to talk like that about our west people and like that. We never did that to VLA. No, we never. I've never heard that story before. Trust me, Tegan. It might be Wim, but not West. Remember, West is Harry Gun Raleigh, King Break, Marley, Smithfield,
White Lady.
He might have been in Wim and I flat his tire, but not down West.
We're very good people.
Wim always used to have like one or two. When I was an actor, Wim always had like one or two dudes that just wanted to be in things. You know what I mean? Like they ain't really like bad man. Wim was like Lorraine just got like one or two want to be in things type of people, but we were more into being sharp in school or girls, and Wim was the same way. Wim ain't really had like no bad man. They used to get in fight. Like
he ain't no bad man like that. No.
Right. They had like maybe like one or two.
And you enter Campo Rico, then you could know your target.
Definitely Campo Rico had some fighters though.
Wim had the jokers, man. Wim had the jokers. That man used to want to crack jokes on you and all kind of heck.
I know you're
Corley. Yeah, Corley. Big up to Corley, that's my boy. Every time I come in with the man cracking jokes at my thumb and all kind of heck.
Trust me. Trust me,
Crazy.
I've been in class with Courtney.
Oh, so you know that.
That's our Courtney. And Courtney that dude is a brain, you know. Trust me,
Yeah,
you know.
he's very smart.
That
Yeah.
dude is a brain. Like he, as much jokes as he make, he was on point with his school work, my son. That's one thing I could say about him. I don't think that dude failed a test in class. Not one. He was very smart. But he was definitely a class clown.
He was, man.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, man. Big up to Wim, man. Big up to Wim. Good people at Wim. Good people. Good people. They might
man.
say Fabio. Fabio is your nickname from now on, Pang.
Hey,
They might say Fabio.
you call me Tyson, not Fabio. Change that. I said the wrong. I said the wrong name, people. Call me Tyson, not Fabio.
Hey, so, but a playoff start tomorrow. We got to go up. We getting our picks in. We gotta go our picks in.
We already know who you're going for. You wearing a hat.
No, I ain't going for this. I ain't going for them.
Oh.
No.
Let's see. You
pick first.
I am actually going for the Lakers.
Lakers are who?
In the final?
Yeah. We go with our prediction.
Milwaukee. Ain't nobody beating Milwaukee. As long as they stay healthy, ain't nobody beating Milwaukee.
So you got Bucks over Lakers in the championship?
No. I got Lakers winning it all.
Oh, so you got Lakers winning it all? Okay.
Yeah. I think it'll be tough on them, but I need to see second year Miami LeBron. And that's it. If he don't play like second year Miami LeBron,
good luck with that.
They might go home from Portland.
Them days pass, brother.
But no, not the like skill wise, you know. The determination, the man second year Miami LeBron, like this man was locking people up, you know.
Pang, you know how you feel when you play on the outside court every Sunday now? That's how LeBron James feel right now in the NBA. Pang.
That man got $2 million procedure to take care of his body. That man he don't feel what I don't feel.
Yeah, LeBron good, man. LeBron, there ain't gonna be no excuse there. What I think will be scary, because they ain't got a crowd, you kind of have to watch out for the regular players, them who won't step up in the big moment. That external pressure ain't gonna be there, Pang. It's more of a pickup now, where a person can actually hit you up for about 20 points. You won't even have a chance to do that. And I ain't gonna lie, anybody can beat anybody.
Right. And I like that factor in the playoff because it ain't gonna be no because Portland is the number 8.
Yes.
Portland could have been a number 3 if they were healthy throughout the whole season.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So now that they're healthy and they're running on all cylinders, it ain't gonna be no easy series for Lakers.
That's why I got Portland beating Lakers in the first round. Even though I weigh this hat, I got Portland beating Lakers in the first round.
I predicting a lot of upset because all these teams so even right now, and then the external pressure. Because that fans make a difference, you know. People don't understand.
Right. Yeah, it's
you
true.
20,000 top of the top will still be good, but the little ones them in the middle, them man gonna suppress their skills. No, the man really gonna show you what they got. They ain't got nothing to worry about.
So who's your pick? Who's your pick, Tegan? I got Clippers and who?
Bucks.
All right, so I get Clippers over the Bucks too. Yeah. That's my pick.
Okay, so who picked? Okay, you all over the place. You said Portland, but you just got Portland beaten. you just got Portland beaten Lakers.
Yeah, okay, I get Portland beating Lakers.
Okay, but overall, you got Clippers winning it all.
Yes.
Okay.
I get Clippers beating the Bucks in 6 games.
You think you're like me? That's me too.
I think they'll go a game 7. I honestly do. If they any team in the finals, I think they're going game 7.
You think so? Okay.
Any team. Like it's the factor that Tegan said. It's just like it's gonna be a lot of upset.
Yes.
It's gonna be a lot of upset. A lot of the under seeds are gonna beat the upper seeds. I really think so. Like for example, Heat's Pacers. Who is number 4? Heat or Pacers?
I don't even know. That's a good question.
I think Heat is number 4. And
That's gonna be a crazy series.
Pacers could beat Heat on any given Sunday.
Yes.
I think Celtics
Who's
is number
Dallas
3.
playing?
Dallas?
Clippers.
Dallas playing Clippers?
Okay, so they out. That was a dangerous team too, but they dangerous. Houston, they gotta watch out. Me like how they play.
If Westbrook healthy, we look out for Houston.
You saying watch out for Houston, or Houston got to watch out for
They gotta
whoever they
watch
play?
out. They'll get knocked out in the first round.
Oh, that's what the
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
If Westbrook healthy, I think Houston could do some damage.
So listen to this. I don't think Houston got to watch out. I just think they're gone first round.
No, sorry.
I honestly think they're gone. I think they're playing. No, they ain't playing Utah because Utah is number 4.
I go pull it up now and see. Remember, because Westbrook kind of hurt his quad or something.
He's day for day.
Yeah, so that's kind of tough, man.
That's a bad injury too.
Yeah.
That's not a good injury.
LeBron is still the best player in the league, regardless of what Greek Fick to do. LeBron is still the best.
No, come on, Pang, man. Wait, Houston playing OKC. That's a tough matchup.
They got home. They got home.
And Chris Paul is playing great.
They got home.
Watch out.
But
We'll
so
see.
you don't think LeBron is the best player in the league still?
I don't think he's the best player in the league.
Why?
The best player in the league?
Why? Yeah.
Because he slowed down a lot defensively. He don't even play defense. And offensively, he's not the same player, man. He's just not the best player in the league. He's just not. I feel like, honestly, man, I want to say, to me personally, okay, so when I watch the NBA, me personally, the best player I see, all around best player, just the best player, Kawhi Leonard, man. Easy. That's who I see. Best.
I'm not quite there. I agree, but I'm not there. The best player I see, period. For me. Because all we got best player. And what we say best players, what they can do all around, like you said.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, hands down.
Oh, he's not healthy though.
We're talking about in the bubble.
Yeah, we talking about now.
My bad.
Yeah.
I
agree with you.
I think
Kevin Durant is the best player. He's the best player in the world. Hands down, easy.
Well, now in the bubble, how you can't choose over LeBron? How can you? Okay, I mean, I like Kawhi too, but I will take LeBron.
And I'm gonna tell you why I take LeBron, Mumba.
Yeah.
You honestly think LeBron can't go 40 or 90 if he want to?
I can't. I don't see it. Not no. I don't see it now. Like this moment in time right now, you watch LeBron, he's slowed down a lot, man. He's just not the same.
He definitely, but I still think the man could put up 40 a night.
Well, yeah, in this NBA, because you can't touch them and stuff like that, but
I just don't think there's not one person that could stop it.
The difference to me with LeBron and Kawhi is great. Don't get me wrong. Well, LeBron can unite a team, man. He has something that a lot of people don't understand in basketball. He makes regular people play harder because they know they can get a ball. It's like when you play with Pan or you play with Tegan. You play with Tegan, both will be good, but Tegan shooting all the damn ball. If you use Mumba, you ain't want to run back and play no defense and stuff like that. But when you play with Pan and you run the floor, you know you have an opportunity to do something. He can elevate your game more than me. You know what I'm saying? We're talking complex days, right? Because obviously now I change. But that's the mentality with Kawhi and LeBron. Kawhi is great, but he's doing it solo. LeBron can just make an average player raise his game, and that player is going to play harder for you, Mumba. And that's why you have LeBron.
I agree with you, but I think Kawhi is the same way though. Anybody will run through a brick wall for Kawhi because if you watch Kawhi play, you see how he plays, man. He plays hard.
But he's not LeBron.
But
he's not.
But the Kawhi make you better though. I could put LeBron at any team in the NBA, and that team gonna be better than it was the year before. Yeah. That ain't happening with Kawhi, and it's also not happening with Durant.
You guys need to stop disrespecting Kawhi like that and Durant.
Kawhi made.
Okay.
It's not a disrespect. It's just two different games. Both of them are great. But who would you, if you were breaking into the NBA and you know your game is and your money is predicated about how much points you score with, Who you want to play with, LeBron or Kawhi? You better believe you want to play with LeBron because instead of playing with Kawhi and you're averaging 4 points a game and you're making 1 mil, now you play with LeBron and you're averaging 12 points a game and making 10 mil. Guess who you want to play with?
Well, you're right. LeBron get everybody involved. He's like he's Magic Johnson pretty much. He gets everybody involved, you know. But the thing about me, okay, as a basketball player, I wouldn't want to play with him because he don't play defense. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He don't play defense.
As long as he don't give me them stares that he'd be giving some of his teammates when he mess up a defensive assignment, I think we good. LeBron, he eat me out with that in mind. What the fuck you looking at me for? That's your assignment.
That's what I'm saying. I can't play with somebody like that.
No, but
I cannot.
But as an individual, like he's still. I honestly, man, I can't until this man is just officially broke down or somebody. I'm not saying that right now Greek Freak ain't having a better series. I'm not saying that Greek Freak ain't gonna win the MVP. He deserved it because he definitely had the better season. So he deserved. But winning the MVP doesn't make you the best player in the league.
That's right.
I agree with you. But LeBron ain't the best player still, though.
He's the best player.
He's the best all-around player, you can say.
He's not. He don't play no defense. You guys forget the defense part of the game, man.
Okay, Mumba. Okay, Mumba. His scoring went down, but the man leading the league in assists. His teammate got to score for him to do that because he's making them better. He finding them and they hitting their shots.
You want me to tell you something about LeBron James? You know what? I can't say that because if it wasn't okay, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Watch LeBron James last season and LeBron James this season. You got to his team, man. Does the play Anthony Davis? Anthony Davis having a better season than LeBron James. And Anthony Davis is not getting the credit. Anthony Davis leading the team in every category except for assists.
So the reason why, listen, this is just the flat out the reason why LeBron's name is in discussions for MVP, and it don't deserve to be there. Trust me.
Yes.
It's because of his age and the rate he's doing it. And because he's playing better, outplaying Anthony Davis, which is who is the other person that should be? It should be Greek Freak, Anthony Davis, and it might even get 1 or 2 players before LeBron. But LeBron is in discussion because this man is one of the oldest players in the league, and he's still doing what he's doing.
That's true.
You guys, you guys get fooled by the. You guys get fooled, man.
Listen to what I just said. I don't think he should be in the MVP run-ins. I don't personally. Yeah. I think he's just there because of his age and the still the kind of things that he's still doing. That's impressive, Mumba.
No, it is.
That's very impressive. So it's deserving of him being in the discussion. I don't think he should be there. I agree with you that Anthony Davis should be the number 2 in MVP votes. I agree with you, but I know why LeBron is in the discussion, and I could understand it, but I don't think he should be there. True that.
So all that being said, Mumba, Lakers out first round. That's what you're saying. You're killing Lakers.
I got Poland. I'm sorry. I got Poland.
And you win a Lakers back?
Yes. Listen, all these Lakers fans in the chat talking about whatever. They can say whatever they want. I've been a Lakers fan since 1982. So
if McCollum play like how he played last night, Lakers gone first round. Because we know, we know Damian Lillard is going to pull up from half court and do the things that he do. This man is shoot half court shot like it's a mid-range, yo.
Nothing.
It's crazy.
Hey, big man, ain't no joke either. He could give Davis a run for his money because he can stretch the floor. It's a dangerous team. I'm telling you.
Yeah, dangerous team. Definitely. You got Nurkic, you got Hassan Whiteside.
Collins.
Yeah, they have a serious team. Don't forget Melo.
I was just about to say that. A sleeper. Lot of people pass up on Melo for a full year. And Melo is just making everybody pay. I'm going to tell you, the last 3 games Portland play, except for minus the one that they are. The last 3 games of 3 or 4 games Portland play, Melo hit the go-ahead shot. I kick out.
And his body look great. He's in great shape. That's probably the best I see
Right.
He be getting shit.
Melo is making everybody.
Hey, I taking off this Lakers hat because everybody going crazy at me, bro. Taking off my Lakers hat, man.
All of this,
Go ahead.
I think Lakers will beat Portland.
I just think Lakers when they're gonna buckle down, man. They play like shit now, but I think playoff, it might take them a game or two to gain their rhythm. But I think when you're playing the same team over and over, I think that's where the experienced team come into play. Yes. And I think Lakers more experienced than Portland.
Look, man. I'm gonna tell you what. This is LeBron James series. There is nobody in Portland that could check LeBron James. You have Nurkic at Whiteside that could kind of slow down Anthony Davis. Melo cannot guard LeBron James. There is nobody gonna be able to stop. It's gonna be hard for the Lakers to contain Damian Lillard and McCollum. Depends on his back injury and stuff like that. This is LeBron James series. Huh?
If Lillard and McCollum catch fire together, watch out.
Yeah, it's a done deal for Lakers. I don't see
Lakers winning. I don't see
Lakers and I don't see Anthony Davis and LeBron both having a good game at the same time. I
could see Anthony Davis struggling, man. I'm telling you, they're gonna show those bodies at him, man.
I don't like jump shooting Anthony Davis.
I agree with you too.
I don't like that dude out there, man. Like, what? Why you think you're a shooter? You're the tallest man on the court, and you just fading away, man. Get your in the block.
Yeah, man. Right. It's true, man. It's true. You know about. Just remember, you heard it here first, people. Portland, first round, knockout.
We shall see.
I gotta give a big up to Zoro. Zoro killing LeBron right now, son. Get to bring Zoro in to have a conversation with this one.
Zoro, come. You're more than welcome to come in because me and you agreeing. You understand? Are you the GOAT? So I listen to the GOAT.
No,
we will listen to Zoro, but LeBron, you can't take away from LeBron.
And that's what I do not like about Jordan fans. I'm a Jordan fan, the best player ever to play the game. But you just can't be disrespectful to a man because people putting him up against your player. You can't.
Yeah, he's a different player. He doesn't. And as being players ourselves, we know it's a lot better to play with a person like a Magic mentality than Jordan.
Exactly.
Jordan might be the best in the world, but he ain't no easy person to play with, boss.
No. I would love to play with LeBron. I would, man. And LeBron definitely, you could tell he to listen to a lot of people guys. Okay, he always do some dumb tweet and then don't back it up when he comes to the game. Playoff LeBron. I remember that year when he talking about playoff LeBron is locked and loaded, and they were out in the first round.
Yeah, hey. zero dark 30 or whatever he said.
Man, that was so funny, my son. I in my head I'd be like, man, LeBron, you got to stay off of Twitter, my son. You got to stay off of Twitter because every time you say something, you don't go out and do it, my son. Like you don't even come close to doing what you say you're gonna do.
Oh God.
But to like you just can't really take away all of that from LeBron. You don't pass Jordan and Kobe in points if you don't score.
I think we kind of nothing against LeBron, man, but he ain't ready, man. It's just not his time, man. His time is past. His time is past.
Let's all come out for 10 minutes. Let me hear it from the legend.
Zoro want to come on?
You know LeBron gonna be in the top 15 of every category when his time is done.
Yes. Yeah, because of longevity, though.
It doesn't matter.
No, you're right. Is a part of the reason is longevity. He never been hot though. So
no.
What you mean? No, it's true.
Radman there in the top 15 in rebound. Why he in points? Why he in? I'm saying LeBron is going to be in every category. He ain't got
and part of the reasons because of his longevity, and he never really get hot.
Momba, you're missing the concept. The man is going to be in every category, everything.
And I know that, but think about it though. Look, LeBron James is an all-around player. He don't give you assists, he don't give you steals, he don't give you everything. right? But part of the reason too is his longevity. You think about it.
If
Well, availability is longevity, so you can't be mad at him for what he's doing.
right,
No, I ain't mad at him, but that's part of the reason why he's going to be in everything. That's so important. Think about it. Remember when Kobe got hot? Those leading up to his before he retired. Remember he tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
He fractured his kneecap, and then he had rotator cuff surgery.
Kobe broke down in his final years. He broke down.
But the year when he broke down, he was having one of his best years, and people overlooked that. That's what I'm trying to say. Like longevity and not being hot is very important because Kobe was on pace to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
He didn't want to pass the ball. That's the problem.
But you hear what you just said. You hear what you just said. You single it out to points. I'm not talking about just the longevity of the. I could play for 40 years just like he, but I ain't gonna be in every category. I'm gonna be good in one thing. The man is going to be in every category, Mumba. Jordan, as long as he played, he probably is only there for assists, maybe steals, maybe and definitely points. But LeBron is going to be there for everything. Probably the only thing he's not gonna be there is block shot. But
and steals.
And steals.
Yeah, he don't play on defense.
That's facts.
No, man. I'm not downplaying LeBron James' skills. People say they don't play his skills. I just said he is the best. He's the best all-around player ever in NBA history. I'm gonna put it as that.
I'm a good referee both times because I'm not a LeBron James fan, believe it or not. I actually hate to watch him play sometimes. Yes,
me too.
Break my TV.
Same here.
On me play, but you gotta get the jacket. That is good.
I just say he's the best overall player ever in history of basketball. He is. You guys agree or no?
No.
No. Who is the best then?
Jordan is the best.
No. Overall. You guys missing my point. Overall.
I think if Jordan wanted to win a year.
No. Pang. You can't. Pang. You hear what you just say? No. You just said, LeBron James is going to be every statistical category in the top 15. And then you just turned around and said, no. If Jordan wanted to. No. You can't do that.
We just tell you reality.
No.
If Jordan want to lead an assist, he'll lead an assist. If you want to lead
you guys crazy. See, you guys know. You guys know what the hell you guys talking about right now, brother.
Jordan knew his role. His role was putting that ball in the bucket, man. And playing defense on the other end to stop the other player that heat from scoring.
Do you hear? Listen.
Win with me.
No. Me, I ain't letting Ayo come out the hook on this one. You just nail it in my head talking about how people want to play with LeBron James. He make you better and everything like that. And then come to find out, I just said he's the best overall basketball player in history. Are you gonna say Jordan?
Yeah. Hey, listen to this. Listen to this, Mamba.
No.
Not because I made points for him. My points was only to just prove that he is great, but he's not the greatest.
No.
We're not saying the greatest basketball player ever. We saying the greatest all around.
Jordan.
No, he's not. Oscar Robertson, Magic Johnson.
Hey, listen. Jordan could pass as good as.
You got too far now, man.
Listen, you guys have no respect, brother.
Just listen. Jordan could pass just as good as LeBron. He got way better defense.
No.
Better handles.
Jordan cannot pass as good as LeBron James. We get to stop you now.
But Jordan is a better passer than LeBron James.
No, he's not. No, he's not. Tegan, come on. I know you're a LeBron James hater, but you got to be honest with this one.
Yeah, but Jordan is a way better all-around player by far.
By far, ain't even a question.
Yeah, by far.
Okay. Well, first of all, why am I? You see how this just happened? I was arguing against LeBron James. Now I'm arguing for him, and now you guys arguing against him. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
The best, you running into problems. You can't.
Yeah, you can't talk.
Okay, so let's break this down now. All around player, right? We going all around part of the game. Who's a better passer, LeBron James or Jordan?
Jordan.
I'll give it to LeBron.
LeBron, easy, not even close.
Okay.
Better rebounder, LeBron James or Jordan?
Jordan.
LeBron James. Are you serious right now? Better rebounder?
Nobody don't go for the glass in
No,
today's
we
NBA.
can't be. We
Everybody
can't
don't
be
run back.
making excuses. No, we cannot make excuses. We
Okay,
can't
then
be making excuses.
you can't. So how could you determine LeBron is a better rebounder?
Yeah, exactly.
Because
I going with Jordan over favoritism. I can't tell.
this is not even.
I going with
listen.
Jordan over favoritism.
Jordan easily.
Easily.
So you say Jordan is a better rebounder than LeBron James?
Yes.
Yeah, because Jordan
Why?
chasing down the rebound. LeBron ball was dropping in LeBron hand.
You said what?
Jordan will chase down a rebound. LeBron is just standing down underneath the rim and jump up and get. It's two different type of rebounder.
You
have a
guys are
rebounder
crazy.
like
Listen,
and you
man.
got a rebounder like Dennis Rodman. Rodman used to chase down rebound. If you understand the two analogy, he knew the science in rebounding. LeBron didn't know science in rebounding.
Okay?
Moving on.
So let's move on. Better defensive player.
Oh, don't even try
come
it.
on. Stop.
The only player that win defensive player and MVP in the same year. The only.
I agree, and that was my whole point about LeBron James earlier with Kawhi Leonard. But we not gonna talk about that. Better block shots.
Jordan, easy.
Okay, you guys making my point about LeBron James, by the way. But I'm just happy. I'm glad. Okay, so now, better shooter, 3-point shooter.
Mumba, oh come on. Well, Jordan didn't take as much, but when he did it, his percentage is good.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm gonna give you guys a stat, right? LeBron James 3-point field goal percentage is better than Jordan, by the way. And Jordan took more, and LeBron James shoot more than Jordan, and he has a better field goal percentage. So
I don't care. I don't care.
Okay.
Jordan is still a better shooter than LeBron.
Who has a better 2-point field goal percentage, Jordan or LeBron James?
LeBron, because he's the layup king.
Of course. You can't put percentage, Mumba. Stop. Let me ask you this, Mumba. You have one shot for $1 million and you got two players to pick from. Who you gonna make shoot it for you?
Jordan or LeBron?
Yeah.
Do I have any other choices?
No, Jordan or LeBron.
Oh, Jordan easy. Jordan
course.
easy.
Why? Why?
Shooter.
Why? Yeah, why?
Because LeBron James ain't a good shooter. He doesn't have a mid-range.
Of course not. And people would look at stats, and he got better field goal percentage, and they'll say he's a better shooter than Jordan.
Yeah, because they just look at numbers.
Exactly.
But no, look, Tegan, Pan, this is how I flipped it, and you know, Pan, because you was talking about numbers, this in top 5, top 15. No, we're not backpedaling anymore. I set you up. I set you up. It was a setup. I set you up the whole time, Pan. About LeBron James. I set you up.
Let me explain why.
Oh my God. This guy.
Listen. The reason why I was saying that, we were talking about current players and why he's still the best players. And I that's how I get into all of that. But then we switched the argument versus Jordan, and there's no winning that.
No, we can't bend the rules for certain players.
I wasn't bending it. I was just telling you why he's great. That was why I was saying that. Why he's the great. None of them players you said Kawhi Leonard or Durant, Durant is going to end up like with the stat line, the career stat line like LeBron.
Why is that?
And it got nothing to do with no longevity. They just not like you. Your argument, he's the best all-around player, mean that he's better than the names that you call. He just ain't better than Jordan.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you this question: Why Jordan in the leading scorer in NBA history?
No, that's playing to your longevity.
Okay. Thank you. I got you, Pan.
No, but that's no question.
That's my point about LeBron James.
No, you definitely have that argument when it comes to points, but it doesn't make you a better all-around player than Jordan. I'm just saying. My argument with the career stat line was just to prove his greatness. You know what I'm saying? That's really it.
Yeah.
But as far as being the greatest, I will never utter the words that LeBron is the best player ever. Crazy.
No.
Okay. I have a bet. I have a better. This is, and I'm gonna be honest. This is a more serious conversation because this is a conversation I've had many times with a lot of people throughout my lifetime. Jordan or Kobe?
Come on.
You see, that's the part that kills me. You guys will be like, "Oh, come on." No, it's not. Oh, come on. Really think about it.
No. Wait,
who is the better?
Listen to this.
Let's go ahead. Let's hear this crap now. Let me hear this.
Every baseball, you know what I'm saying? Baseball mess up your mind.
Listen to this.
Don't disrespect baseball and that team.
Listen to this. You rather go Foot Locker to get a pair of Jordans or go Walmart to get a pair of shoes that look like Jordans?
You guys disrespected Kobe like that, man. Rest in peace to Kobe, but I wear Kobe's. I don't wear Jordans.
I love Kobe too, but Jesus.
No. Don't think about the Foot Locker Walmart dynamic. Think about the actual player versus a duplicate.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
That's a good point.
It's not a good point, man. We talk about. Listen,
Kobe's a clone.
He's not a look, man. You guys ain't get no respect for nobody, brother. You guys ain't get no respect for Kobe, man.
Kobe is great, but not like Jordan.
I gonna flip your head a little bit. Kobe better than LeBron?
Oh, for sure. Easy.
Come on. But what I'm saying, you just asked a question about Jordan versus Jordan. There is no greater player than Jordan. And I just use that analogy because Kobe is a spitting image of Jordan. He said it for himself. Everything you see in me, I got it from him. He finally said it before his untimely demise. Rest in peace, Kobe.
He did say that.
You know how great a man gotta be when our kids who never even seen Jordan play wearing his gaze them.
This is the thing that kills me.
They don't even know who the hell is Jordan.
Kobe, like you guys said, Kobe mimicked Jordan. He's a clone of Jordan, but Kobe did a lot of stuff better than Jordan too. That elevated his game better than Jordan. I think that's the thing. I think.
What?
No disrespect. No. Perfect example, right? If you have if Tegan trains a kid, right? And you teach him everything. He's a clone of you, Tegan. He master everything that you master, and he add on to his greatness from his perspective too, because he got everything from you. That will elevate his game better than yours. Even though you was the first, you stuck in everybody's mind that you're the greatest. But in our reality, he is actually better than you. It's the same way. If you watch Kobe play, you could have tell that he was just better, man. He was better. There ain't no disrespect to Jordan or anything like that. He just mastered Jordan's skills and he just took it to another level.
Man, hey, let me show you.
I think you guys don't stuck at this Jordan.
Jordan could beat Kobe with the eyes closed, boss. What are you talking about?
See, that's where you see. No, that's what I'm saying, man. It's the disrespect is crazy.
I don't realize the greatness of this man. You know, I honestly don't realize the greatness of this man. You know? I would sit in a crowd and watch Jordan play, just the same way a white man would go to a show and watch a ballerina dance, boss. The same dude. Hey. The man Jordan, Kobe don't give me goosebumps like Jordan to give me goosebumps.
Are you serious? Wait. So, Kobe in the conference finals against Sacramento when Shaq fouled out, he wasn't giving you goosebumps then?
Man, Kobe in the 89 points a game ain't better than Jordan when he scored 21.
You guys ain't get no. You see, and I tell you that's a problem, man. You guys like you. Look, nothing against Jordan. Jordan took it to the next level.
You know what Jordan said one day? Man, it's easy to average 32 points a game. All I gotta do is score 8 points a quarter. For a man to know that, or that's what he think of, he gotta be the baddest person in the world. But that's Jesus. That's the next person. That's the next person next to God. You ever thought about that, Mumba? I could average 32 points. All I gotta do is make 8 points a quarter.
Listen. You could look Kobe, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006. You forget that Kobe? You really forget that Kobe? Like really and truly.
It's comparing him to the greatest. Like you said, he was good, but
he was good. Like that's what you gonna say about Kobe. He was good.
Okay, we could say he was great. But again, you comparing he to Jordan.
He was.
I'm
10.
not. We comparing the eye test. We comparing watching a game. We watching the game and we comparing the difficulties of the shot.
So Mumba, you really when you watch Jordan and watch Kobe, you're gonna say Kobe better than Jordan when you watch it, just watching them.
If I just watching them,
you crazy.
Yes, and I'm saying it with a serious face. I'm telling you, watch. You know what it is? I'm gonna be honest with you. You guys ain't watch Kobe like how I used to watch Kobe, and I watch Jordan the way how you guys watch Jordan. I think that's the difference. You guys really forget how great Kobe was. Honestly, like you guys forgot. Honestly.
I was a Kobe fan. I used to battle with Frenchie every day. Frenchie's the one tell me I was better than Kobe.
You're not no Kobe fan, Pan. You're not a Kobe fan. You're not a Kobe fan. You're not a Kobe fan talking about Kobe like that.
No, Mumba. I talking the way I'm talking because that's how great I think Jordan is. That's all.
Let me ask you a question, right? When watching Jordan, you realize he was the greatest. What game, what year? You tell me. What final series that you tell me Jordan was better than Kobe in Kobe's finals against Indiana? Watch Kobe number. Watch what? Oh my God! Watch what Kobe did.
In any series Jordan played, Jordan better than Kobe. Yeah,
you talking crazy. Jordan struggled. No, wait.
When he come back with 45, he is still
Jordan struggled against Portland. Watch Jordan struggle in the Portland series. Jordan struggled in the Utah series. Both series. Watch. I think you guys really forget. He struggled. He was struggling.
Mumba, you definitely fighting on deaf ears, bro. Because
no. You guys, I'm dropping facts. And I got two Jordan clones. Can't see it.
You could drop a brick at my toe. There is nothing you could tell me that could change me about Jordan for anything, man. There is nothing you could say that would tell me that there is a man better than that man named Michael Jeffrey Jordan, yo.
I could name 5 players better than Jordan.
Now you off. You are definitely
I'm
off.
joking, man. I'm joking. Zoro texting me and all too.
My argument started about LeBron is I don't like the Jordan fans to put LeBron down the way they do because they're Jordan fans. Just like how you saying I talking about Kobe and I'm just talking that way because I'm a Jordan fan. It's not that I don't think Kobe is great and Kobe, I just don't think he's better than Jordan. I don't think LeBron better than Jordan. I don't think Durant better than Jordan. You know what I'm saying? I think Durant gonna go down as I don't think there's one man. Let me change that. I don't think there's 2 men that could guard Durant on their best day. Like 2 men actually guarding he. I don't even think that would be a challenge for he. That's how bad that man be in scoring. But that's all I think of Durant.
Who won the most finals MVP?
At the end of the day, LeBron got to win championship to win most MVP. Jordan got 6 final MVP. How much? LeBron only got 3 finals.
No. Because Mark asked that question. That's why I asked it. Yeah.
No, I thought it was a comparison between Jordan and
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even have LeBron James in my top 5 greatest basketball players ever. Me personally, that's everybody have their own opinion, but that's my opinion. I was just using the argument with Jordan and LeBron James because what you said earlier. That was just the reason why.
You know what's LeBron downfall? He has too many failures, like too many. And I ain't just talking about finals. Like LeBron, you could see when he gave up. When somebody beat Jordan, they beat Jordan. You know what I'm saying? You could see when LeBron gave up. Like this man shrug his shoulders so much in a game. Like it doesn't even make sense how disinterested in. Yeah, he could
That's
seem
amazing,
like a good team player at times. Like he like to give his teammates a shine. But when you watching the looks that this man that give his teammates sometimes when stuff happen, it's like, dude, it's like you playing with 2 different players.
I do believe he shone away from the biggest moment, in my opinion. And I think it kind of cloud our judgment because we see Mike don't do stuff like that. But for some reason, when we watch LeBron, we would be like, dude, we want you to be the man. But LeBron would rather a bench man to take the last shot or something. He don't, like when Durant got a ball coming down and you see LeBron screw up with LeBron, everybody knew Durant going to take this shot. But you can't say the same about LeBron. You would say, okay, yeah, you have the game in your hand, but you still don't know. He would do some crazy shit.
And
that's what
I think LeBron could score every time he wanted to score. Honestly, that's just my opinion.
Me too. Especially with the rules. Me too. I think he can score.
Yeah, with the rules, yeah, with the rules, yeah. True that.
But why he don't is the reason why he's not the greatest player.
Also, he doesn't trust himself on the future line, in my opinion. Runs from the future line. Because a lot of the times he can penetrate the last shot, but he doesn't want to get fouled, so he settles for the jump shot most of the time. And I think that's, he can probably take it to the hole and get fouled. Nobody can take no charge. So at least he'll be close to the basket, but I feel he doesn't want to go to the future line.
Yeah, I agree with that.
No, he shoot like what, 60-something, 50-something? Terrible.
But he's still great, though. At the end of the day, he's still great.
Yeah, he's great.
You know what year I love LeBron? His rookie season. LeBron came in and he was just a breath of fresh air to the end. There was nothing like him.
Nothing.
I didn't see him like that, man. You guys, I didn't see
him. The moment too, because remember he had a lot of pressure and he really grabbed the spotlight. Like you said, Pam, you're right. That's probably one of the better times I like watching him play. I didn't like watching him much in Miami as much as a lot of people think. I didn't really like the move, period.
Especially that first year.
Oh man.
I definitely didn't like the move. Yeah, man. I definitely didn't like the move. I love Damian Lillard. You see a Damian Lillard, the call out, man. Come for Damian Lillard, you're gonna get your feelings hurt. He tells Paul George, stop running from the oh my God, stop running from the struggle.
Yeah.
And teaming up just to win a chip. He tell you stop running from the struggle.
Wow. That's crazy.
You didn't see them man beefing on Twitter?
No, I didn't see that. I didn't see that at the time.
Man, you gotta see that, man. That was funny, man.
So when they play the Clippers, Damian with Lillard on the line to win the game, and he missed both free throws. Patrick Beverly and that man was on the side, teasing him about Dame time. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because that's Damian Lillard thing. So the reporters went back and asked him questions in the press conference, and he was like, "Ain't nothing wrong. That's what they're supposed to do." Patrick Beverly, know that I get a respect. Patrick Beverly, he experienced me sending him home in the same damn time he talking about.
That was funny.
Wow. So
that was funny.
Paul George coming in and playing brisk, talking about something about you gonna get sent home early this year or somebody asked you something about Paul George, and all he did was just answer the question. So Paul George jumped on Twitter and said, "Don't worry, Dave, you gonna get sent home early this year." And Dave hit it that hard blow, my son. Talking about stop running from the struggle, jumping from team to team just to win a chip or something. I thought that was so harsh. I felt that.
But they didn't send home George with a step back from almost half court.
Yeah.
He also said,
he said that
he
too.
experienced it just last year. Yeah. I sent him home. Boy, Damian Lillard was sending bullets.
Yeah. He was saying like always a sign of respect, that they was acting the way how they were acting and stuff like that when he missed the free throws them. It's a sign of respect they have for him. Damian, he's the man, brother.
When Damian Lillard said what he said about Paul George come back with some peaceful tweet. I thought that was so funny. He said, "You're bugger, you're joke. You joke."
Because now they putting pressure on himself now. If Paul George choke in the playoff, oh wow,
yeah,
that would be crazy.
It'll be crazy for real.
They have the perfect team to win it all. Honestly, they have on paper they have the perfect team to win it all.
They loaded,
do, man.
it'll be hard to beat them. I ain't gonna say there'll be a pushover. I just think like Milwaukee, because they have the Greek freak, and right now he's playing like the best player in the league. I'm not saying that he ain't playing better than LeBron. I just think because LeBron is still in the league, that's why I say he's the best player in the league. But Greek Freak is playing better than LeBron. Just listen to what I'm saying, Mumba. He's playing better than
Look,
LeBron.
man, we have to get away from because guys was great 5 years ago and they might be considered the greatest because they're still in the league. That doesn't mean they're still the best in the league. They're just not. He's not top 5 in the league either. LeBron James is not, man. I could name 5 players easily better than him right now.
Give it to me.
Give it to you. Anthony Davis, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, Steph Curry, Greek Freak. And I could go a little bit more too. I'll put Russell Westbrook over him too. Some players are just better than him now. They might not be the best. They might not be better than him career-wise ever. But we talk about today, 2020, they're better than him. They're just better than him.
The only reason
Kevin Durant too.
Yeah, the only reason I would Kevin Durant is the only person I could say would probably outplay LeBron if LeBron really lock and loaded. Honestly, and I think
we not talking about if we lock and loaded and stuff like that. We at least we know you got to be ready to come to play every day.
But that's just my argument. That's my argument. I think if
you're making excuses for this guy, man.
I think if he want to, he could do the things that some of these players doing. I think he has a different agenda with Anthony Davis being on his team. That's all. That's just my opinion. We have seen LeBron have some ridiculous games in 2020, and for me to think that he can't do that every night, I would be retarded.
No, man. You got to watch the game. Watch his explosive. We talk about the intangibles. Watch his explosiveness. Watch his reaction on defense. He just ain't there anymore. It's just reality. We all get old. That's the truth.
I kind of see what you're saying, Mo, but I think you and Pang really saying both truths, but you guys are really on a different wavelength. I thinking I don't know. You're a little bit off with Pang. I can just tell both eyes not really on the same wavelength. You are more like, yes, he's losing a step. He's older. He's not as reactive as he used to be. But Pang is still saying he's still very intelligent. He still control the game. He still get people involved. He's still one of the best at it. Yes, they got people more athletic, can shoot more, can do all these things. But LeBron's still up there in terms of the totality of the game. So
right,
you guys just kind of missing each other here and there.
The totality of he experienced and all that stuff, but we not talk about the totality of experience. We talk about playing the game. We just talk about playing the game. That's what we're talking about. If Pang go in my league right now and play right, and we get some nice a young dude, he just better than Pang at this moment. But is he overall gonna be a better player than Pang? No. But we talk about today at the moment.
I agree with you. Now, I can't say for me at this point that if I want to, because my body just won't allow that. But I think, and this is why I'm arguing with you, I just think LeBron don't have that of like what I have. And that's why I said LeBron don't feel the pain I don't feel. I don't think that dude feeling any pain.
Yeah, he feeling pain.
I think he could still go there and pull up all the old numbers that he support. That's just my opinion.
I see that too. I think he can still do it. I don't see too much of a drop off. I think he was at such a high level for such a long time. You're nitpicking. You can't be mad at somebody who
nitpicking me?
Something points.
I'm nitpicking.
You kind of just. I mean, he can't jump as high. He can't. I mean, that's kind of.
No. I never say he can't jump as high.
Look, along the basket, still effective.
Playoff start Monday. I can't wait because this discussion that we had about LeBron James, we gonna see.
Yeah, we need to have a playoff edition because I like listening to both our talk.
But Mumba,
we gonna see.
You saying what you're saying, all the things that you're saying, what you're saying, is the reason why they might lose. Honestly, so like Tegan is saying, you ain't saying nothing wrong. You speaking all facts. Everything that you're saying is all facts. I just believe, even with all your facts that you're bringing up, I just think the man could still play better than what he is actually playing. Honestly.
Yeah.
We'll
And
see,
that's why
man.
I
got you.
No,
I got you. I
You
get
can
through
have
that.
Tiger Woods syndrome. We know a lot of golfers out there better than Tiger Woods. But forget, when it comes down the last day, Tiger win a red shot, we still go roll with Tiger.
Right.
Yeah. You guys were. Yeah. You guys get brainwashed quick. That's what it is.
No, Mumba, not quick. Longevity brainwash me. Ain't that wasn't your argument?
You're right.
Longevity
Yeah.
brainwash our argument.
Yeah.
We had
that's
to.
true.
We watching 17 years of this man, so that's where my argument coming from. And I don't think 17 years will just go away in 1 year. Honestly,
I see you. I got you. Yeah.
Listen, you compare. You using me as an example.
Yeah.
I don't practice in the morning, shoot around in the afternoon, and go play ball in the like. I don't do that to now. So I see where that. This is where I go there from 9 to 6 every day. Sunday is the only day I don't play basketball. Of course, I gonna feel it when I play. I don't think LeBron will feel what you think he's feeling because he's 17. No, I think he's slower. I think he don't jump as high. But I don't think his IQ fall off. I don't think his passing ability fall off. I don't think like his decision making is fall off. So why can't he be the best player in the league if he wanted to?
Because every person that played sports in their whole entire life in history in humanity, right? You don't lose your intangibles as far as the game and your experience and stuff like that. Is your body, is your athleticism, is the speed of the game, the explosive, all of that stuff is what just pass you by. That you just can't, you don't have it anymore. You might have it up here, but the physicality of the game, I'm just running up and down, is just not there anymore. It's just your body can't handle it, and that's why.
All that being said, you do know that Lakers have the number 1 seed, right?
Thanks to Anthony Davis. Thank you, Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis
and Rajon Rondo.
I'm not a big LeBron fan, but I hate when people don't give him his credit because Kyrie is eating his humble pie now. Now before LeBron get with Kyrie and Cavaliers used to be dads without LeBron. He been with LeBron, he win the chip. All of a sudden, now he wanted to branch out. He got to New Jersey, they went to shit. He got to Boston, fuck the team up. He come back to New Jersey. It's the same thing. Look at Anthony Davis. How many playoffs he been to?
Wait. Let me get back.
Playoff Anthony Davis been to.
Let me get back to the Kyrie part.
Okay.
When
the man is doing something right.
When Cavaliers got LeBron James back with Kyrie Irving, don't forget they got Kevin Love. They got a bunch of new players. It wasn't the same team that. Wait, no, it's true.
Right,
it's true.
Wrong, but we talk about Kyrie and LeBron.
And but that's the problem. And I think that's the problem is that the team that Kyrie had when they was getting a lottery pick still, and then when LeBron James come back, they revamped that whole team. So it wasn't the same team that Kyrie was playing with. So it's easy for people to say, well, when LeBron James come back, yeah, it changed. But you got Kevin Love too. You got a bunch of new players. J.R. Smith.
Name five players on the team that LeBron took to the NBA Finals when he was on the Cavaliers the first time before he moved to Miami. Name 5 players from that team.
LeBron James, Mo Williams, Anderson Varejao, the dude, what's his name? The red-headed left-hand dude that went to see Delonte West. Damn, what's the other dude name is? I can't remember, but
you know that's 4, right?
Yeah, that's 4. But you surprised that I named 4. Let me.
No. I know you couldn't name 5.
Wait, I can't name 5. Wait, hold up. Okay,
I could name 5 because I respect the man so much. I really to pay attention to that season.
No, I watched too. But I'm trying.
I could name all the players.
Go ahead, name all the players.
So the 4 that you called, that was
I help you out with the 4 I called too. I help you out.
Delonte West. What's the big dude with he name starts with a Z. He went Miami with LeBron too.
I know he'll talk about
okay.
Zaza Pachulia.
Hell no. No.
Yeah, that's
no,
him.
No. Tegan, what the dude name? He start Elzak
Oh,
Zalka. Yeah.
Elgaskis, however it is. Yeah,
He
yeah.
was a beast. He was good. He was
Boob-
good.
Booby Gibson.
Bobby Gibson, yeah.
You know Danny Green was on that team?
I didn't even know that.
Danny Green wasn't on that team.
Either he was on that team or the team before. Okay, maybe you might be right. I'm gonna have to look.
Yeah, he wasn't on that team. Yeah.
What's the? There was another like overseas player. Like he had a bald head. I can't remember his name.
Ain't Calderon. The other guy.
No.
It was a I can't remember his name. But anyways, I want to say Daniel Marshall was on that team. Remember Daniel Marshall? It was on the latter part of his career. Right? That might have been his last year in the league. Period.
Remember, you thought that was a good team? That first year when LeBron took them to the final.
Team was horrible. That's LeBron James' greatest achievement, I think, as a player. What he did. Much respect to him. That was a horrible team.
So you don't think that man to do that every year? You could imagine from that year there. Was it that year? From that year, matter of fact, from that year, the man been in the playoff for the next 9 years, in the finals for the next 9 years.
That's crazy.
Come on, man, Mumbai. And some of the teams that he went to the finals with, they had no business being in the finals, but they're there because of LeBron James.
Okay, take away that team that he took to the finals and name the other teams that he took to the finals. Don't even say name the Miami teams there, because that team was all-star teams. So go ahead, name the other players from the other teams. He always had 2 to 3 superstars always with him ever since then. No disrespect to LeBron James, but you got to give other people credit, and you gotta be honest to the fact that he had some solid stock teams.
What other team didn't have 2 to 3 superstars when they win the championship?
What you mean?
I know he put the team together. That's what everybody's saying. That's the knock. But when Jordan went, it wasn't Jordan alone. You had Pippen and Rodman. You always had a big three someplace. It wasn't always one person.
The Jordan and Pippen was the it, and then everybody else played their role. You gotta be honest with that. Dennis Rodman was.
Their team was good though. You can't just say it only had one player. Every team that won a championship had good players. I can't remember no team that won a championship that didn't have good players. Houston had good players.
Yeah, I think you missed my point. Mountain disrespectful. Mountain is disrespectful. Mountain, please don't say that about me.
I don't only watch that show for Shannon Sharp. I hate to hear Skip Bayless talk sometime. You had LeBron James, you had Dwayne Wade, you had Chris Bosh, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. For all those years in Miami, and then you had Ray Allen, right? And then you still had some solid players. He went to Cleveland. Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, Kevin Love, J.R. Smith, and the list goes on and on. He had good teams. He just had solid players, man.
Okay, you might got a point with some of them rest team, but that team that he went the first year, he had no business being.
No, and I agree. That's why I say it's the great. That's amazing. I can't say anything about it, but I'm just saying that we kind of overlook the other great players that he plays with.
No, but what team win a championship without great players, Mumba? Tell me.
I got another year. They
don't have no team that win a championship that don't have great players. They at least
the same year he linked up with Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving. Both of them get injured in the first round. He had no business being in the finals that year either.
Yes.
No, Kevin Love. One of them, Kevin Love got hurt in the first round. Kyrie got hurt in the finals.
Still.
Still. Okay, yeah.
Still. He ain't had no business being in the finals.
Okay. I'm glad Charlie said Detroit.
Crazy.
Wait. No. Tegan.
I'm a big Detroit fan. Don't even come with that.
When Detroit, Tegan, hear me out. Tegan, hear me out.
Vinny Johnson. Talking about Dennis Rodman.
Tegan, hear me out. We talk about when Detroit beat Lakers, when the Lakers had come. Tegan, hear me.
You crazy? As a Detroit fan, I'm just saying. You gotta watch out when you say Detroit.
Tegan. That year when they had Rasheed Wallace, Chauncey Billups, all those guys. Come on. How many superstars was on that team?
Hey, if Rasheed Wallace was only like Tim Duncan, Rasheed Wallace would be the greatest power forward in the NBA.
Tegan, how many superstars Detroit had that year when they beat the Lakers, when Lakers had Kobe, Shaq, Karl Malone, Gary Payton?
Wait, so you didn't have Chauncey as a superstar?
No, there wasn't no
a superstar.
No. Tegan, Tegan. Let's really think about it. We talk about superstar where LeBron James, Dwayne Wade level, Chris Bosh, Kevin Durant.
You did not have Rasheed Wallace as a superstar?
He wasn't a superstar as their level. That's what I'm saying. He wasn't a superstar like that.
Woo.
When he was, I'm not talking about Rasheed Wallace Portland. I'm talking about Rasheed Wallace Detroit.
I'm gonna have to agree with Mumba on this one.
It's no disrespect to none of those players, but that's what I'm saying. Like Detroit had a team.
Only one I would say was a superstar on that team was Chauncey, and the reason why I said that because they had a great system, and that's why they beat Lakers. And Lakers was crumbling within. Lakers was turmoil within. So
they got too old.
Yeah, with the good system that Detroit had, it was a great year to meet up with Lakers, because I think if they meet up with the Lakers the same year, the year before, I don't think they winning any. I think Lakers crushing.
I agree.
I used to watch Detroit. I used to
watch Detroit play.
But I agreeing with you as far as I don't think they were superstars. I don't think Rip Hamilton was a superstar. I don't think Piston years. I don't think Tegan. I think the potential. I think you're going off of the potential of Rasheed Wallace.
They are good.
That was Rasheed down years though. That was Rasheed towards the back end. So
I think Rasheed just gave himself a bad name in Portland, and he just reached out to try a new start. But I think he was a different player from then. I think his role was different. He wasn't looked to as a star, and I think Piston was the perfect fit for him, because, like you said, if he was more like a Tim Duncan, like offensively, he probably was. You could have probably see a little like. It's hard to say he would have been better than Tim Duncan. I don't think that they could ever come up.
It was close, and to me, on record, like that's the greatest play against.
Right, but I think Rasheed Wallace could have had
by itself.
Yes, I think he could have a better. I think he could have left a better legacy than what he did leave, basically. But I would never go as far as say he'd have been better than Timmy.
So let's touch on the San Antonio championship team.
I ain't gonna lie, I love that team.
Let's touch on the San Antonio championship teams.
David Robinson, Tim Duncan.
When they won the championships,
they had three superstars.
Who was the three superstars?
Ginobili, Tony Parker, Tim Duncan. And
there wasn't You guys don't play Tim Duncan. You guys don't play Tim Duncan superstar level. There wasn't a Tim Duncan superstar level. There wasn't. Think about it.
No, the years that they were playing, they were superstars in those years. Now overall, are they gonna be like great superstars? No. But the years that they win those championships, they were playing at superstar level.
No.
Tony Parker used to lead the league in points and a paint. A point guard?
That's not superstar level, Pang. When Tony Parker won the finals MVP, that's when Tony Parker was a superstar. But before that, he wasn't a superstar. Ginobili wasn't no superstar. You can't say Ginobili's a superstar and he coming out the bench, even though he could have started. You cannot say that. By choice. So you don't play Tim Duncan, because Tim Duncan is the one that was the only superstar on that team, if you really think about it.
Well, I'm trying to figure out. So you don't have Tony Parker and Ginobili as superstar, but you have Kevin Love as well? Are you kidding me?
Wait. You forget Kevin Love when he played for Minnesota.
Yeah, break. They were the last place team in the league.
No.
Don't even come with that.
Tegan.
Somebody got on the last place team.
No.
So Chris Bosh is a superstar?
He was a superstar when he was you guys forgetting these guys when they was running their team? You forget Chris Bosh in Toronto?
No,
You forget
no,
Kevin
no.
Love in
But
Minnesota?
you see, now this is the thing I'm gonna tell you about Teagan. The same thing I just tell Teagan. You going off of where he used to be in Toronto. We talking about the year he won.
No, Pang. When Chris Bosh went with Miami,
But
that
then
was his end.
you making Teagan argument.
No,
that
I'm not
Rasheed
making
Wallace
Teagan
is a
argument
super-
because
So how
Pang,
he
you're
was?
not hearing me out. You're not hearing me out.
Rasheed Wallace was definitely a superstar in Portland.
How
He
many?
was. He wasn't one in Piston.
Pang, when Chris Bosh played for Toronto, how many years did Chris Bosh play for Toronto before he went to Miami? How many years did Rasheed Wallace play for Portland before he went to? No, it's not the same. No, it's not the same. Chris Bosh first, Pang. Chris Bosh was still under his rookie contract when he went to Miami. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
But okay. Listen to this.
No,
listen to this.
You guys are erasing. You guys are like bypassing these guys.
Does not matter.
No, you can't say that. You can't say that.
You have to look at when you have to say, were they a superstar the year they win the championship? Was Chris Bosh a superstar?
Yes, he was. He was a superstar.
How Rasheed wasn't a superstar?
Because Rasheed Wallace, when he went to Detroit, it was the tail end of his career. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
But he still wasn't putting up Bosh numbers?
No, he wasn't. No.
Man.
Look at the... No. Pan.
I still stuck on Kevin.
Up.
Wait. Let me go back. I'm still stuck Kevin
Love.
You guys...
Okay, we're going to start with Kevin Love.
He's a superstar.
Yes. You see, this is the problem. You guys are comparing...
Superstar?
No, he wasn't, bro. You guys are comparing guys who had 10 plus years in the league and moving on to teams with guys who just finished in the rookie contract. When Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade team up with LeBron James, why you think LeBron James went with Miami? It was the end of his rookie contract. So these guys was just getting into their height of their career when they got together.
They're prime, yeah.
Yeah. Listen.
Dude, come on, man. Are you serious right now?
I agree, but is Kevin Love a superstar? You really hurt my head with this question.
Dude, Kevin Love was a superstar. He might not be a superstar now, but this guy was dropping 30 and 20 a game and all kind of stuff. You guys are like disrespectful to these guys, man.
Mumbai was last place.
He wasn't last place. He made the playoffs couple times with Minnesota and they just got sweet. Okay.
I could agree with you, but then we have to agree with Teagan that Rasheed Wallace was a superstar.
No, you're still missing my point. You have three guys who was becoming superstars end of their rookie contract compared to a guy, Rasheed Wallace, who already had 2 contracts signed before he went to Detroit. It's uncomparable. It's just you can't compare that. It's just reality.
So it's the truth. At your analogy, real quick, Pam. That means that Lakers team that Detroit beat, all them are old as shit. So none of them are superstars.
Yes. I never said they were superstars then. I just named them. I never said Carmelo and Gary Payton were superstars. I never said that.
Okay, just to show you I understand what you're saying, right? You're saying Bosh, Dwayne Wade, and LeBron, they were still ascending. The only argument that I have for Chris Bosh, he was the only one that didn't descend. I mean, didn't ascend. He descended when he went to Miami.
Because you got to look at the role. Go ahead.
Exactly, because of the role. And that's the same thing with Rasheed Wallace.
No, it's not, bro. You crazy. You are crazy. Rasheed Wallace, was on his tail.
So Rasheed Wallace stay in Portland. He ain't gonna play. He ain't gonna be the number one factor. That the very next year.
No, he wasn't the number one factor. I heard a Rasheed Wallace story, and Rasheed Wallace even said that the reason why he went to Detroit was just to win a championship. He was done. He was done.
Here it is. Is LeBron a superstar?
Oh, for sure.
Well, he did at the tail end of his career.
Listen, Pat, you guys. Now we compare LeBron. You try to say.
I just want to know.
No. Rasheed Wallace was not producing. Look,
the year before he went to Detroit, he was producing. He was the number one.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Brandon Roy was.
Because he was in turmoil with the team, so they were going a different route. But it doesn't mean that he couldn't put up the numbers.
Yes,
we're going into a different avenue. He couldn't put up the numbers.
But that's all I'm saying. I think. My personal opinion is I think Rashid just played a different role on the Pistons.
Look at Rasheed Wallace last 2 seasons in Poland before he went to Detroit, Punk, and you tell me.
But that I don't think that had anything to do with his talent. Honestly, I don't think it had anything to do with his talent. But
No,
I think that man used to mess up himself, cussing with the ref, getting all kind of.
We making excuses. I'm not into making the excuses with all of this stuff.
But
we just talking reality. We talk reality.
There's a reason why Tegan said what he said about Rasheed Wallace. I think Rasheed Wallace had the potential. I think he just messed up himself. But that dude was definitely a superstar, man.
I agree he was a superstar, but I'm just saying he's a superstar. He was a superstar. But what I'm saying is that when he went to Detroit, he wasn't the player that made him a superstar then.
And I agree with you on that point.
That's why active LeBron is still a superstar.
And I agree with you on that point.
But you guys are, but then you guys saying then that's what I'm saying with the Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade with LeBron James. These guys just finished their rookie contract, so these guys are playing in their height of their career together.
Yeah, but the year that they win, Bosh numbers went down. He didn't play at a superstar level.
And these three of them, or somebody numbers is gonna go down. That's just the reality of the situation. The numbers is gonna go down.
Same thing with
Rasheed Wallace's number was already going down.
Rashid had to go and play with Bill Up. He had to share the ball with with Rip Hamilton, Tayshaun, an upcoming
Come
on, man.
I'm going to the San Antonio because we got to get to this team. Duncan and Ginobili. You guys talk about Ginobili superstar and Parker superstar.
So you have Kevin Love as a superstar, but not Ginobili? I cannot understand.
No, listen. You guys, let's get to this.
Watch out. Listen to this. Momba. The three of us watching from the sideline, right? I want you to go and look up videos of other superstars talk about Ginobili and hear their comments. This man could start for anything.
I agree.
And be the, so how is he not a superstar?
You guys are not listening to what I'm saying. How many titles did Tim Duncan win with Ginobili and Parker?
3. With the both of them, 3.
Okay, how many titles Tim Duncan win total?
5.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is the Tegan point that you have to have multiple superstars to win a championship. That's why I brought up San Antonio. When Tim Duncan won the championship with David Robinson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was David Robinson? He's a superstar. Well, was he the same player that made him a superstar?
No.
Okay.
Of course not.
So Tim Duncan was the only superstar in that team. Right?
Yeah, he has some good role players and a good system.
Okay. So Tegan argument, one superstar won a championship. The next time he won a championship, how many superstars they had?
2. I mean 3.
Who? Who?
It doesn't matter. Tim Duncan is Tim Duncan, boss. We're talking about Tim Duncan.
Whether David Robinson is a falling star or not, he was a superstar. So you still gotta give Jackie the jacket. He was still good.
Yes.
And his name and repetition is gonna go whether or not his game goes or not. The same thing with Bash. But their man game dropped. The game just dropped, but they still respected as one.
Yeah,
so even when Karl Malone and Peyton went to Lakers, we knew that their game wasn't the same, but the mentality of everybody was, the man is still superstar. So you can't now say, no, they lose a step, they superstar. And that's why I asked you about LeBron. You told us he's losing a step. So is he still a superstar? Of course he is. You're going to respect him as one.
I'm gonna ask you a question. A good question, but I'm gonna ask you guys a question. What makes somebody a superstar in the NBA?
No, that's a good question.
Thank you.
I think it's different attributes. You know what I mean? I think, is Ja Morant a superstar?
If he's a superstar, no,
because he hasn't did multiple years of playing the way he is.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Is he going to be a superstar?
He's on his way to being a superstar.
Yeah. So I think if you could consistently put up those types of numbers, that will make you a superstar.
Yeah. That's that question I asked you guys is pertaining to Ginobili and Parker.
But the respect you get too from the players then. Because just like we were talking about Dame, all we know Dame is a superstar, but it's been a while when you won't gain that type of respect. and he was always putting up them type of numbers. So when you get that respect now and that notoriety, like people like, dude, you better watch Dame. Got Dame time. You know, he mean business. But let's be real, Dame has always been a good player.
Yeah, always.
From jump.
Yeah.
So you gotta earn it. You gotta earn it.
Let me ask you guys these.
Is Tony Parker and Ginobili gonna make the Hall of Fame?
I think they're Hall of Fame players. Honestly, I think they're Hall of Fame players, especially Ginobili. I think he's a Hall of Fame player.
But they're not superstars?
No, they're superstars. They are superstars. But when
okay.
When
So
I'm talking about
Kevin
when
Love
they
gonna
won
make
the
Hall of Fame?
title, huh?
Kevin Love can make a Hall of Fame.
He's gonna make the Hall of Fame easy.
Not Kevin Love.
Never.
Okay,
Never.
you guys are
Never.
disrespectful. You guys are very disrespectful to Kevin Love.
Never.
You guys ain't used to watch Minnesota play. I'm not.
I used to watch Kevin Love play, period. But Mumba, I could name some players that didn't make the Hall of Fame, and I know they're not better. Kevin Love is not better than them.
Who? Name one.
Kevin Love is not making no Hall of Fame number.
I guarantee you, Kevin Love make the Hall of Fame. You know what I like about this? You know what I like about our conversation?
You gotta be about that.
No. No. Listen, you know what I like about this conversation is that this is gonna forever be on YouTube, and when things happen, we can always go back and we will see. You know, we will see.
Well, this is one you got. This is one you have to prove me wrong. The day Kevin Love make a Hall of Fame.
I tell you.
So okay, let me ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you a question. I was gonna ask you, you guys a serious question, but I'm gonna ask you this question about Kevin Love. Why Kevin Love is not a superstar?
I think for the very reason that Rashid is not one. I think for the very reason what I trying to say.
No. I said Rasheed Wallace was a superstar. I just said when he was in Detroit, he wasn't a superstar that he was in Portland.
Oh, okay, and
he's a superstar.
That's why I said Bosh wasn't the superstar that he was when he was in Toronto. I don't see what different is in what you're saying.
It's a big difference because I'm going off of the talent at the time when he was with Detroit compared to the talent of Bosh when he went to Miami.
I could understand that point, but the fact remains that he wasn't a superstar in Miami. That's the fact.
Okay, so this is a question I ask you guys. If you're a superstar, can you you could be a superstar 1 year and not be a superstar the next year?
If you let you tell it, Rasheed Wallace is a superstar.
No.
I mean,
no. You said no. You slick, pan. You slick. Let you tell it. That's what you said about Bosh.
Hey, but you saying it about Rasheed
because he's on his tail end. I'm saying Bosh is on his ascent. He's up.
So I think Bosh could have been a superstar, but I think his years in Miami messed him up. Honestly,
Chris Bosh or Kevin Love? Who you got?
Who I got? I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what? They're the two. They're pretty much the same type of player. I would go with Kevin Love because I think he's a more better shooter than Bosh, and I think Kevin Love is a better rebounder than Bosh, and he's a better passer than Bosh.
I gonna be Bayern Gate.
I think you guys really overlooking Kevin Love. I really do.
I'm not overlooking. I'm underlooking him. He's not even in my conversation. I go with Bosh.
You said you okay. Wait. Okay. Maybe I didn't hear what you said.
Easily, I go with Bosh.
So let me ask you a question.
Better defender, better rebounder, can play inside out.
Tegan, Bosh is a better rebounder than Kevin Love.
Oh yeah. I give you passing with Kevin Love. That's about it.
Tegan
as well.
Tegan.
You forgot how smart Kevin Love was when they used to abuse you in the final?
Tegan. Kevin Love used to average a double for the season.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you're playing with LeBron and Allen Brooks. You must get
No. We're talking about in Minnesota. We're not talking about Miami. We're not talking about
playing with a losing team. Playing with a losing team. I'm watching how they play and who you want. Chris Bosh to me was way better than Kevin Love.
I agree.
Way better.
Kevin Love had spurts, but he's definitely ahead of a
He had spurts. Bro. Oh my God. Listen, you forget Kevin Love in Miami. I mean in Minnesota.
No, Kevin Love had 50-point game in Minnesota and 11
30 rebounds and
yeah.
you guys look, I'm bigging up. people, I'm bigging up Bosh, but these guys are not bigging up Kevin Love. That's the problem.
When Bosh were doing their numbers, they were winning.
Yeah.
Bosh doing what numbers?
When
In
he was doing
Toronto.
his numbers in Toronto, they were winning.
Kevin Love have better numbers than Bosh when Bosh was in Toronto.
And they were losing. So
Who was losing?
Minnesota.
Let's we gotta go with conferences. Come on, the West. Really?
Hey,
We need to
okay,
go out.
okay.
Okay, thank you.
Listen to this.
If Toronto was in the Western Conference, there's no way Bosh was going to do what he was doing.
Listen to this. But take Kevin Love off and pull LeBron and that same Minnesota. I bet they make the playoff in the West.
Minnesota made the playoffs with Kevin Love, though. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I bet they make the finals in the West.
Okay, see you talking crazy now. I'm glad you said that because it just shows how biased you is right now.
No. That's
no. We're not backtracking nothing. I know you see
that's just good how LeBron is.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you guys a serious question, and this is really honestly a serious question. As basketball players, right? Playing in one system, and then say you gotta play for another coach and another system. What's the difficulty of doing that?
It depends on the system. I just think some players, they could be like the main focal of a system. Say a lot of people would used to want LeBron to go and play for Popovich, but I think
man, guys, I'm talking about. I want to hear about your experience.
My experience.
Yeah, I want your experience.
I think it's the system. It honestly depends on the system. Like the system that I play in college, it was way different than the system that I play in complex. Complex, I was allowed to do whatever I wanted in complex. You know, I had an extended leash by Haywood, but when I get to college, I didn't have the extension. I had a short leash. You know what I'm saying? But I adjusted, and the system wasn't for me. It wasn't about me. You know what I'm saying? So I think it depends on the system and the person.
Thank you. I'm glad you said that. Tegan, let me hear you, Tegan.
Oh, Pang says, right? That's just what you can say after that. In terms of changing system, you just have to find where your talent can fit into the system and the philosophy, because more than likely the coaches don't like to change their system, but they try to find the talent so you can plug into what you're trying to do. And overall, you just basically have to dissect your game and see how you can get the better out of your talent to the system. Me personally, I play for so many different systems, fast, slow. I rather playing fast. So a lot of guys like run and gun. But I did play with walk it up coach as well. Less shot, less opportunity, slowing the game down, lower score. So you kind of have to figure out how you go get your points, especially when you're overseas. You know, you need to get your 18 to 20 points. You might get cut, you know what I'm saying? But you get less opportunities, less reps. So, you know, system is system. You got to abide by that. Coach is going to come in and he wants you to do his thing. But you just got to dissect how your talent will fit in it and just go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? But it makes a difference. Don't think it don't. It does make a difference. If it didn't make a difference, all these coaches that LeBron play for won't get fired. So it does make a difference.
Okay, so and the reason why I asked you guys that question is because in the support of Bosh and in the support of Kevin Love, those two players. That's why I asked you guys that question, because I think you guys overlook them, and like you said, like Bosh didn't really do anything in Miami. Out of Dwayne Wade mouth and out of LeBron James mouth, they said it themselves that it hurt Chris Bosh the most coming to Miami. Out of everybody on the team, it hurt him the most. That's what he said. Yeah, he made the biggest sacrifice. That's why Dwayne Wade even said that when Bosh was up for his second contract, he got paid. He got that contract more than Dwayne Wade. The second contract.
He also got the contract because LeBron left.
Yes, but remember, Dwayne Wade was Mr. Miami. They owe him that contract. It was a reason why they gave him that money. It's a reason. Like you guys said, he didn't do nothing in Miami when he came, but he was rewarded that contract. And the reason why he was rewarded that contract because the sacrifice he made. And that's what I'm saying. It's the same way Kevin Love when he went to Cleveland.
So hear me out. my argument was never that Bosh ain't deserving of the superstar status. That was never my argument. I only argue with you because you said Rashid wasn't, and I also that you said Kevin Love was.
Yeah, that's
I
what
said Kevin Love
me.
was what? Now what?
A superstar.
A superstar.
Kevin Love was a superstar, though. That's the thing. That's what's killing me.
And then
I'm not disagreeing, but I'm wondering how you put him up and not Ginobili. That's what puzzling me. Like really?
Because Kevin Love was actually a better player than Ginobili when Kevin Love was in Minnesota. That's what I'm trying to. Look, I'm not a Kevin Love fan. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a more bigger fan of Ginobili than Kevin Love.
So you really don't think Ginobili was a superstar?
No, he was a superstar, but it's the same.
You don't think Tony Parker was a superstar?
He was a superstar, but what I'm trying to tell you guys is that when they won the championships, when they won those championships early, when they first came to San Antonio, there was a superstar then. Tim Duncan carried them.
No, I agree with that. I agree.
That's what I was saying.
They win 2 more championships after that.
Yes, but okay. When Tony Parker won the MVP, that's when Tony Parker was superstar level. Then that was the 4th championship. The 5th championship, Kawhi Leonard won MVP. That's when Tony Parker.
What you call a superstar? Because Ginobili, before he came to the NBA, was a superstar. He was
he was a superstar. But that's in his country.
He was always at a star status.
Yes, but he wasn't a superstar in the NBA though. Because you're a superstar over there, that's mean you're not a superstar in the NBA. You got to earn your stripes. You got to.
I felt the NBA knew him very well because they heard so much about him, and when he came in, he dominated. I'm a Ginobili fan, so you probably ain't gonna get this one here with me.
I got it with you because you using it from a player standpoint. That's what you're using it from, a player standpoint. So I understand where you're coming from, but we talking from a fan standpoint though, as the general public type of standpoint. Because if you ask NBA,
yes, he had to make his name in the NBA, but he was already a superstar. You know, it's like one of the greatest players from Brazil that made the NBA Hall of Fame that nobody talk about. I forget his name. He was on my tongue, and he destroyed the dream team by himself. He didn't have to go to the NBA to be that superstar. Players that don't fear this man.
And he came, but he wasn't the player he was when he came to the NBA.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, he came. I know who you're talking about. He came to the NBA. No, I may be talking about somebody else. I might be wrong on that one.
Who are you talking about?
You talking about damn, what's his name?
That was in Bow them days. Bow, no, he got it. He didn't have my tongue, but I can't remember. But he made the Hall of Fame. The only player internationally to make the Hall of Fame.
Petrovic?
He lighted up the USA national team for like 50-something, man. Halftime.
I never hear that story.
I wish I had his name.
Man, yeah. God. Well, we're on the computer. You can Google it. He probably will pop up. Brazilian. Yeah. My thing though, Mumba, in terms of all of this, I mean, it's good for the fans them to see and hear how we talk about basketball. But in reality, when these players and the players them play, nobody really gives a shit who thinks they superstar and who ain't superstar. The matter of fact, you just go out there and you gotta prove it. And that's just bottom line. So now is the final, it's proving time. Sorry, now is the playoff, it's proving time. Let's see what's going on. It's Oscar Smith.
Smith, yeah. Oscar Smith.
Yes.
Oscar Smith, yep.
That was a bad boy. Go watch some of his old time highlights, man. Half court that man used to shoot from.
He was okay. No, I'm joking, man. I'm joking.
That was a bad boy.
So he never played a game in the NBA.
No, he never. I was thinking about Petrovic that you said, Pang. That's what I was thinking about. My bad Tegan on that one.
Yeah.
What point I was going to say that.
I only brought him up to show the mentality in terms of world basketball. Like you say, Ginobili didn't really make his name in the NBA, but he was already respected as that because he was the king of Europe. It's the same thing like Dantage. You remember he was in Spain, doing his thing, getting MVP. Everybody I don't know who he is. So when he came to the league, ain't like he tried to make his name, but people are done respect him because they saw what he did in Europe. So now that he fit for Dallas, it might be surprising to us, but it's not surprising to him.
That dude bad like heck.
True
Let
that.
me ask you a question, Mamba. Is Yoda a superstar?
No. The other one, Obi Kenobi, or whatever his name is, he's a superstar.
You didn't watch the prequels then. Crazy.
Yeah, you're a bad man.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I like that shot too, Pang. I like that shot too.
Hey, got rep for my boy, my son.
I like that shot.
Are you watch Mandalorian?
Watch what?
Mandalorian. You remember the bounty hunter in Star Wars series? The bounty hunter, the one that had captured Han Solo.
I never watched those movies, so I lost.
I'm
crazy. Way too long for me to sit on my watch, so I'm sorry.
I'm crazy, my son. Star Wars is the show, you know.
I don't want them thing. They're too long, bang.
Well, anyways, Mandalorian is a story about the bounty hunter, how the bounty hunter came about, and Yoda was a baby in the Mandalorian.
Anybody, you see Charlie Fenton? He know basketball. Charlie know basketball. That's all I'm gonna say. Charlie Fenton know basketball. Big up to you, Charlie.
Now, what Charlie? He must have said something in the comments.
He know basketball because he's been in the comments and what he's been saying, he been spot on, brother.
Active Kevin Love is a superstar.
He's a true NBA fan. He ain't biased. He's a true NBA fan. A lot of you there in the chat bias.
What he said.
Much love to Ayo. I love Ayo, but bias.
This thing, my belly bubbling now.
Yeah, bubbling. Kevin Love cooking tonight, man. He got me for you.
My brothers, I love you guys, man.
Mountain, start calling me Skip. Mountain, start calling me Skip.
You just Skip Bayless, boss.
Hey,
man. You later, man. Love.
Hey, much love to everybody. Much love. We got Dennis Brock coming on Wednesday. Much love to everybody, man. Thanks for sticking to and hearing us argue. So, much love to LeBron James. Big up.
Our principal, great interview tonight.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, man.
It was good catching up, though.
Yeah. Hi, brother.
Good.
Yeah,
right,
later.
Man. Much love.